Hello. It is I, your internet friend, Jerford K. Hello. Your internet friend, Jerford K. Horkrims. I am joined by one of my best friends in the entire world, Kiko Villasenor, Penny Arcade's director of design. But
you're trying to hurt my feelings?
No. I'm getting to you. We are also joined by someone who we have known for a super long time, and who is lit currently upon Steve Jackson games like a magical butterfly. It's Will Schoonover, and so I should also. Sorry that we were late. We've been doing a couple different things. First of all, we haven't talked to him for a super long time. So while we were unboxing things, it's entirely possible that we messed around.
Hey, the cameras were not ready yet. We could keep talking as long as the cameras were getting set up.
That's the situation.
We did not slow this thing down.
No, exactly right.
At all.
But Josh is also the best. Now, the other thing that I was doing that made it take so long is, and I can actually just show you. I did this a lot, and I did it maybe too much.
We're gonna do that more though, because that's kind of, the game doesn't exactly work that way, but it kind of works that way.
Now I understand that you have broom tokens and vroom dice.
There's a lot of booming and there's a lot of vrooming.
Perfect. Well, here, listen. Now we have some erotica up here at the end of the table.
Ooh.
Oh, very tasteful.
Yeah, so I was sent, because I live in Seattle and Steve Jackson Games is headquartered in Austin, Texas, so they sent me a whole bunch of stuff, including some of our studio paint jobs of our cars that appear in the packaging and on the advertisings and stuff.
That is the most, that's the most fun thing about being able to do the streams, is to see the models that have been in the photography.
They're also trusting me to mail all those back.
Okay,
so
I'll try not to, I may eat as many as 3.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But if we have that overhead cam, this game is a war game type experience that uses custom dice, right?
Yes.
So
that is not the camera you were talking about.
No. And so each of these dice has a specific ratio of the faces. So before we play, let's sort of figure out what our weaponry does here.
We're going to talk about the basics a lot too.
Oh, for sure.
If you are an old school Car Wars fans, Car Wars is 40 years old as of last year. Came out in '81, wow. I believe. So there were 5 editions of Car Wars before this one. This is 6th edition technically. But Car Wars was also a very 80s game. So if you still love old Car Wars, you can buy all those PDFs from us.
They're ready to go.
sjgames.com, check it out. If you want to play Car Wars from the 80s, you can buy those PDFs and play them.
For sure.
But for a modern audience with a modern take, we wanted to bring the game into the modern world. So we did this inspired by the old game kind of vibe.
It's the reboot.
Yeah. So we took a bunch of the old ideas, mostly charts and tables, and we turned those into dice math and a card deck and those kind of things.
So ratios and all that stuff has been boiled down into die that we can cast.
It was really great to demo this game to 40 and 50-year-olds at Adepticon who were Car Wars fans.
Oh.
They would come up and they would sit down, they were like, this doesn't look like Car Wars, and then they would start playing it, and they'd be like, oh yeah. And so it translates all the things about Car Wars that are fundamental and core to the experience.
Right.
But it gets rid of all of the bookkeeping stuff.
Essentially optimizes it.
Yeah, it optimizes it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So those dice are the core system behind almost everything you do in the game. There are 3 symbols on them, you can see them. The wrench is like the X symbol with a circle around it that's on that black die.
Yeah.
There are shields, which also have a little S on them, so there's swerves too. So if you're driving, you don't want to see the S. But if you're defending, you want to see the shield. And then there are stars, single stars and double stars, which are generally used for attacking. They're successes when you attack.
Right.
But like you said, every one of those dice has different mixes on it. So the blue die only has 3 stars, 3 shields.
Oh,
it can't give you a wrench.
So it's the most basic
it's 50,
ratio.
50.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah. The yellow die has no wrenches. It's got a double star on it and only 2 shields.
Okay.
And then there's the other 4 dice have mixes. So the black die is 4 wrenches. So if you're rolling, when we get to it, when we're rolling to try to get someone's tires or light their car on fire with lasers, you want to see wrenches. Mm-hmm. So the black die is almost guaranteed to give you a wrench, whereas the red die only has 1 wrench. So those weapons are a little bit less likely to cause a fire or hit tires or those kind of things.
Right. The special outcome of a weapon type.
Now, when you're driving your car, you roll those dice depending on the difficulty of your turns and stuff, which we'll get to in a second.
So actual checks, so not just for rolling
not just attacks
hits,
and defense.
We're actually doing skill checks, like white knuckle racing checks.
When you drive your car, you roll the dice. You want stars. Stars mean nothing when you're driving.
Oh, okay.
Shields, like I said, have that swerve. They're going to take control away from your car. You're like weaving and losing control of your car. Wrenches are going to tear your tires up, so you're like skidding and
So
out.
wrenches are not good
Wrenches are not good,
for those checks.
but wrenches are a little bit less likely to get in a driving roll, so your tires are probably okay. But you can roll real bad and just take a turn wrong and like
Right.
rip your tires to pieces. Because now we'll look at the dashboard down there.
Yeah. So this cranked me up, and this is essentially like this is just an interactive mechanism.
That
essentially.
is your car. That's
Right.
your chassis. That's the foundation of the car you're playing. In
Right.
the middle, there's a speed dial. And
Look at this, Kiko. Look at
Jerry's
this.
got to be my fingers. So if you rotate that around, it exposes different numbers. It also hides the control tokens. Little green things that are on the end of that dial are control tokens. So when you start, you have a certain number of control based on how much control you can see. Now we're all going to start at speed 2.
Yeah.
So-
And look at this. But hold on, Will.
Also-
I'm an expert. Look at this. If it's at 0, you should also reverse.
Yes, if you want to go in reverse, you can go reverse speed 1. Now, the other thing about this game is in the old game, it was like seconds and miles per hour and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
That's just movement.
Yeah.
Like if you're at speed 2, you move your car 2 car lengths. If you're at speed 5, you do 5 car lengths.
Oh, just lengths.
So it's just everything is measured in car lengths.
Yeah.
And everything in the game is built around that, whether it's weapon ranges or movement or any of that kind of stuff. So that's the middle of that dashboard.
Right.
On the blue side, which is on the left side of the screen I'm looking at, but I'm not sure if that's backwards to somebody.
Yeah.
That's your tires. So the health of your tires matters for how much control you have, because at the
Most
bottom,
of your control comes
most
from
of
the
your
tire.
control comes from tires. So as you slide that thing down, it covers control, but also it uncovers speed penalties. Your maximum speed changes. Your max speed at the beginning of the game is 5. It can drop all the way down to 1 if your tires are at 0. Now, once your tires are at 0, you can't
rims.
take more tire damage, but you're driving around, sparks are flying everywhere. It's crazy. Okay, then the other dial in the middle of that, the red one, is your power plant. Now, the power plants of these cars might be gas engines. They might be
Nuclear.
they might be perfect electric engines
Right.
from the far-flung future. That is just your core hit points. If
Right.
your power plant ever goes to 0, unless there's a scenario thing that says otherwise, you're dead. But there are 3 ways to get eliminated in the game.
Oh,
Your power plant can hit 0, and your car is just right there.
inert.
And your weapons don't work. Your car can't drive.
Yeah.
Your car also has 2 crew members on it, a driver and a gunner. If they ever lose all of their hit points, there's no one in your car to drive it, you are eliminated. The third way, which I'm really hoping one of you two does, is you can flip your car by doing a really reckless turn and having a bunch of penalties in it because you're out of control.
Right.
And if you ever do like a full fishtail, then your car flips, and we just say flips and you're eliminated.
I'm doing it.
Okay, it's just like in the movie. It's that scene in the movie where the person who is not the main character.
Yeah. It's where the A-team does that thing and the car behind them does that
Yes,
thing and they wipe
exactly.
out.
So
A-team
that's
did it perfectly.
Yeah, so yeah, they've been killing it for a while.
Yeah.
All right, well that's how the dashboard.
That's how the middle of the dashboard works. One
Yeah.
last little thing. The outside sliders are also
That's
important
right.
because
The armor on each side.
the first hit points you have on the outside of your car are your armor. I can't shoot you in the power plant until I get through all your armor. Now, your armor is determined by the size of the game.
Right.
We organize the game by divisions generally, which means division 1 through 12. That number is how much armor every side of your car has. So if you're playing a division 1 game, you have 1 point of armor per side of your car. The build points of your car are all your weapons and your accessories and your like spoilers and stuff.
Yeah.
That is generally 4 times the division number. So if you're playing a division 1, you have 4 build points, 1 armor point. And then your crew points, which is how you buy fancy gloves or a machine gun or upgrade your driver or your gunner. That is also usually your division number. So we're not playing that exactly today because we're using these sample ones.
Well, and these are like preset. Like these are configured. They we can see like the cool like the like official cars and stuff on there.
Everything is printed on here for you, so you don't have to build a car. But when the camera comes back to me in a second, I'll show you how a car would be built.
It's going to be zesty.
So everybody's got 2 armor points right now.
Yeah.
So if there's a camera looking at me right now, which some of the cameras are hiding, I can see the chat. What? There's always a camera on me.
Okay.
So these pre-built playmats come in the starters.
Okay.
If you buy a
You just
starter,
unfold it.
you get some of these, and there's some small cards and some big cards. But you're also going to get a whole bunch of cards, and that's really how you build how you build your car. So like this is all of the what this one.
drivers.
That's all the drivers
So
in the
this
game.
is almost like an X-wing pilot. Or
It's
something,
a little bit
right?
like in one of those kind of games, you'd have a core card that would determine your stats, and then
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
have add-on cards.
Right.
In this, everything is determined by your choices. So if you two are playing this together, you'd be like,
Right.
let's play a Division 6 game, and I'm going to do this and this and this. And there are some restrictions, like you can't put really, really big guns on your car when you're playing in small divisions because big guns hit really hard and they might tear you up too fast.
Yeah.
And there's other small things like structure, the extra armor you can put on the outside of your car. You can only have one structure card. So you could have like plating that's really good against lasers on one side of your car, but something that's just a whole bunch of extra hit points on the other side of your car.
So hold on, you can get armor and defensive stuff dialed into the point where it's like good against laser weapons.
There's a coating, an anti-laser coating that applies to your whole car.
Of course.
But maybe you just want to put the big ram plate on the front of your car that gives you more hit points and lets you hit harder in there.
So the ram plate is HP too?
It's HP too. Every weapon, here's the other trick to when you're building a car. Every weapon is HP. So
Oh, that's right, because wind damage is coming
if you put
in.
6 machine guns on the side of your car that all have 2 durability, then that's 12 extra hit points on the side of your car. You can only shoot 1 weapon with your driver and 1 weapon with your gunner. So no matter if you have 16 weapons on one side of your car,
Right.
only 2 of them are firing, but some of them can be a blade of armor for later.
Right.
So I've also got the cheat sheet cards for scenario type stuff.
And terrain.
We're not going to use terrain in this game. We're playing in the wide open parking lot. But you can also say, like if you're playing in this parking lot, you could say that certain parts of it are oil slicks. So if you drive there, it's a little harder to steer, or you might wipe out and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm seeing options here.
There are lots of options. There are lots and lots and lots of options. There are 4 different kinds of weapons, category-wise. There's shred weapons. They're usually machine guns.
Anti-tire.
They also shotguns. Those are
Yeah.
anti-tire, like we talked about before. There's slug weapons, which are usually highly dependable. They don't rely on dice as much as others. There's laser weapons that have a little bit more range and sometimes cause fires. There's straight-up fire weapons like flamethrowers and that kind of stuff. And then there's a few things here and there that kind of fit into weird categories. There's rockets that can do a bunch of stuff.
Gauss shit.
Melee.
There are my car has some melee saws on the front of it. There are not a lot of melee weapons in the game right now.
Yeah, so you
there are some
you
melee.
gave yourself, because that's a little bit.
I set myself back a little bit because I have played this a little bit and I don't want to beat you guys up super bad. So I took the car.
I don't want to beat you super bad, so I took grenades and saws.
Well, but the thing there is that's range restrictions.
Yeah. So you have to really get in and duel us to get
Your car
that.
has lasers on it.
Agreed.
Which means the farther we are from you, it doesn't impact you as much. Your car has one-shot missiles, and one-shot missiles hit a little harder than their points would say they hit because they're one-shot missiles. You also have some machine guns, and you have some targeting computer stuff that's going to make you a little bit more accurate. I have linked machine guns, which are just a little bit more reliable because they're throwing more bullets at you, and saw blades, and also some concussion grenades that I can throw out of the window of my car. But I can only throw it out of the window of my car 2 car links.
Okay.
So that's the other thing that's important. Put one of these tourniquets, or for all the tourniquets I got out here, like we're doing, Knights of the Round Table or something.
Exactly.
So this is the only tool that you play Car Wars with. Now you can use lasers, guidance things for line of sight and all those kind of things, but this is all you really need to play. It measures 1 car length. It is itself 2 car lengths long because there's a little bit of extra space on one end. It shows you how to slide your car, how to turn your car, all that kind of stuff, which I will get to when I start taking my turn.
I can't wait.
So yeah. So the other thing that blew Jerry's mind, which we'll show off some more, is the bases of these cars are what really matters. So if you saw all those fancy painted cars up at the front, we make a lot of different car models for the game.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, and we even have.
And I did bring some in their raw, unpainted state. Like they come pre-assembled in the boxes. You just open the box. They all plug into a base. They have
the bases
2
right
holes on
here.
them.
It just goes right on.
The bases are color coded. The dashboards are color coded, so you know I'm the red player because I'm using the red dashboard. If you've played a lot of miniatures games, I know that you guys stream a lot of other miniatures.
1 or 2.
Sometimes.
A lot of those miniatures games
They mean nothing to us.
have this thing. I know I'm your favorite today. Not your best friend. That's Kiko, but I'm your favorite today. A lot of those miniatures games have what in the hobby is called WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. That means if I've got a guy with a sword and a laser machine gun, whatever, I can't say that person is a dragon
Right.
that has whatever. In this game, we don't care so much about that.
It's about vibe.
So if you love one of these cars, you just, like, if that's your favorite car, Hydra. Every car has a name, too.
Yeah.
I don't remember all their names, but I do know some of their names.
They have some 80s ass names.
If you love Hydra, you're like, I play Hydra every time. Now, you can build a car that has exactly what Hydra is armed with, because all of the things on the sculpts are represented by the cards in the game.
Yeah, I see some rear-facing machine guns.
So this is Stiletto. Stiletto has shock weapons, which are like electric pulse weapons.
Yeah.
Some missiles, and it has some other stuff hidden in there. But the base is what matters. So when you look at the base, that's your actual car for measurements, for line of sight, for all those kind of things. And so you can see on the main camera right now, that car on that yellow base right there. There is a firing arcs, X on that base, because every one of these cars has 4 facings, front, left, right, and back. And where your weapons are at matters. So if you have weapons on one side of your car and not the other side of your car, you can only shoot out one arc.
Here, I'm just going to drop the base over here so they can see how clear it is. Can you throw it back up to that dice cam, Josh? So all the axes, like it's quite
they're labeled.
It's quite established.
Everything's on there. Also, when you're targeting a car, you only consider the box, not the nose and the tail.
Oh, okay, box only.
Yeah. But when you're driving around, I'll show you how physics works. Jerry was really excited about this too. When you're driving around, the nose especially comes into play when you have collisions and that kind of stuff.
Got it.
But when if you're trying to shoot Jerry and I'm in the way, you can't be like, well, I can see the nose, and that's the only thing I can see. So yeah,
That's not how it works.
that's not how it works. But I think we're ready to start.
Yeah, I agree.
I think. I'm going to go first. I'm the first player. So in the game, we go around the table from the first player clockwise, everyone moving.
Yeah.
And then we go around the table from the first player clockwise, everyone shooting.
Got it.
So you will be last player, but you will get to move after we have moved. So you'll get to see where we move, but you'll have to wait to shoot until we shoot. So and then I'll pass this to you and we'll do that round and round and round and round. Okay.
I think I need a power deal.
Oh, I didn't give you your power deal. I'm terrible.
I mean, I can also just have.
You can't have infinite health. I'm sorry.
That's not.
Listen, this is your game.
Yeah.
I have to
There we go.
allow for you to die. Okay, so the other thing, I'm gonna show you guys this on the back of the rulebook because it's bigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's the sequence.
Yeah, there's a really simple sequence in the game. The first one is check speed. So that just means, are you going faster currently than you're allowed because of your tires? Do we need to rotate this so it's? Nope, that's upside down. So there, now the audience at home can see it. Okay, so you check speed. That just means, are you at speed 5, but your tires are chewed up, and your max speed is 3.
Adjust it.
Yeah. So
you,
all you do.
took tire damage last turn. Now you gotta.
So if you take tire damage during the round, it doesn't affect your maximum speed or anything
just
like that.
inertia.
Only at the beginning. So then we go to take control. So I've already put out control tokens and stuff. You take control by getting any ace tokens. So like your spoiler gives you an ace token. And ace tokens are generally used for defensive rerolls. But there are some weapons that use them and that kind of stuff, like tracer fire. And your control is just literally, do you have control? Are you under control? Because when you're out of control tokens, your car is out of control. You can't steer anymore. Your speed doesn't help your defense, all kinds of bad stuff.
It isn't a matter of a check. It's just bad.
It's a binary yes or no.
Gotcha.
Do you have the tiniest sliver of control? And I love all this stuff because it's like actual language.
Yeah.
Like, do you have just barely enough control to be maintaining control of your car? Well, then, yeah, you have one control token. You're just barely under control. So then we go to manage fires. Your car might be on fire.
Its own face.
Yeah. I didn't show you this when we were looking at Jerry's dashboard, but the armor sliders flip over to be fire indicators. So each side of your car can catch on fire. If your car starts the manage fire step on fire, you can choose to put the fire out. Costs you
with control
2
tokens.
control per fire. So if the lasers on Jerry's car light Kiko's car on fire, then you have to make the choice of, do you put the fire out and lose some control, or do you let it burn and take a damage?
So at the beginning, it's like, oh, I got the control for that.
Oh, yeah. You're like, fine. My tires are full health. I'm doing great. Okay, so we'll get to manage fires eventually. Then we get to the real meat of the round. We go to movement, and there's 2 parts of movement, which is adjust your speed. So you can go up or down by 1 speed for free. You can hard accelerate, which eats into your power plant by 1, so you can go up by 2 to go down 1, or you can hard brake, which is drop your speed by 2 and take a tire damage. So,
okay, so you can spend
you can,
tire
you
or
can
power
slam
plant.
on the brakes or slam on the gas, or you can be gentle and conservative. I know what your choices are going to be, probably.
Wild. Okay.
Then you move your car. You spend all of your movement points, which are generated by your speed, and you have to spend all of them. So if you're pointed at a wall and you're out of control, you have to hit the wall.
Of course. Yes.
And collisions are resolved in a very simple way in the game.
Yeah.
Then we go to combat, which is just attack people. And like I said earlier, your gunner makes 1 attack, your driver makes 1 attack. Now, anybody can drive the car, anybody can shoot any of the weapons. They're only called driver and gunner because the gunners tend to give you a special ability that makes your guns better.
Right.
And your driver tends to give you a special ability that makes your driving better.
Okay.
Like you have machete. Machete loves machete loves machine guns. Every time you fire a shred weapon, machete adds a black die to it, which I said earlier has a lot of wrenches.
Yeah.
So machete's really good at getting those bullets to hit people's tires. But that doesn't mean that Mamba, your driver, can't fire your machine guns. It's just Mamba doesn't give you that bonus, but Mamba gives you other bonuses.
Right.
Jerry's got a rookie gunner, so you got no gunner bonuses.
Yeah, I know that. You don't gotta.
But you have Rhino, so you always add a black die to your defense rolls, and there's only 1 shield on there, but that even matters when you're out of control and you're not rolling any dice normally.
Right.
Okay. So then we go to the end of control.
Or the end round. Yeah.
The end of round. Technically, all your control tokens and ace tokens reset to 0.
You go
and
back
then
into the
come back,
bin and then come back.
And then we pass this. So that's
Yeah.
just bookkeeping too.
Yeah.
Okay. So check speed we don't need to do because we're fine. We're fresh,
Yeah.
brand new, shiny babies.
Yeah, we're right off of the conveyor belt.
We've already taken our control and our ace tokens because I don't have anything that gives me any bonuses of those either. So we both have 7 of those. We're not on fire.
No. Agreed.
So I am going to be really aggressive because I have saw blades, but I'm going first, so it's not like I can drive straight at you and then you'll be there when I get to attack.
Right.
So I have to be a little cagey. when
Turn
it
1.
comes. So it's going to be better for me as the last player in the round to have the saw blades. So I'm going to not accelerate yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay at speed 2, also just to show people how things work. I'm just going to take my turn at speed 2. So, like I said earlier, everything's measured in car lengths.
Right.
The lines on the turning key line up with the lines on the base. And when you move your car, you always move your car forward 1 movement increment before you do anything else.
So inertia.
Yeah. No, I mean, so every time you use a movement point,
Yeah.
the first part of it is forward.
Yeah.
So I go forward from front to back
Yeah.
that far. Now, I
know how this is going to work.
He's seen this. I can make a slight turn. I can angle my car, and if you can see that, the cars do overlap to the turning key. There's a notch
they're
under
raised.
the little surfboard. So I can make a slight turn, and it's not difficult at all. There's no danger in making a
Right.
slight turn. I'm just wiggling my car a little bit. But if I want, I can make a difficulty 1, 2, 3, or 4 turn. So those difficulty levels, I can go anywhere I want on the key up to that limit, and that be a D1 turn. I'm not going to do that for my first one. I'm just going to go slightly this direction.
Okay.
And yellow car is just there for showmanship value.
Yeah.
It's not a real car.
It's the observer.
Somebody might run into it later. It's just parked there. I don't know why somebody left the car parked in this
hope
arena.
so.
And also the outer edge of the mat is walls unless you declare otherwise.
It's like the game grid.
This is a death sport.
Right.
This is the far-flung future that the 80s imagined death sport. Okay, now I move.
And now it's here.
Now I move my second movement point,
Yeah.
and I can choose to turn or not again. I'm gonna just
Do another little
I'm gonna
turn.
slightly just veer a little bit more, because we'll get into we'll let you touch the
Yeah,
dice
we
first and
will.
roll the dice. Okay, so that's it. I did not accelerate. I just used my 2 movement points, move forward 2 car lengths. My turn is done as first player during the movement. So now it's on to Jerry. Now you put the turning key on the side of your car that you're going to turn, and you always put the long side on the side.
Exactly right.
You did it wrong.
But
The long
This is
side
who I am.
the long side touches the side of the car it's on.
all right. You didn't know I was going to turn that way. Now, so
I looked up and you were making mistakes.
already. So the first thing I want to do is increase speed.
Is choose to increase or decrease speed. Yes.
I choose to increase speed.
Do you want to go max? You want to floor it?
3's good.
Okay, so you're just going to go up by 1.
Yeah.
So just slide that up to 3.
Right.
So that is going to impact your control later, but not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's during the beginning of the round.
So now that I have changed my speed, now I go 3 car lengths.
Yeah, you go 3 car lengths. Now and every one of them involves moving your car forward 1 car length and then deciding if you're going to turn or not. Now, here's the other thing I should tell you about turning. So, those icons on that turning key indicate dice.
Oh, definitely.
So the first one is a green. So the green has 2 wrenches. So even slight turns beyond, technically beyond the slight turn, even small turns can impact your tires a little bit.
Right.
Then there's a yellow, then there's a red, then there's a white. The white die is super special. It has 2 wrenches, 2 shields, 2 stars, and a single of each one.
Yeah.
So it's a 1 in 3 chance, but there's also 1 in 3 chance that you'll get a double of the thing you're looking for. You also, every time you make a maneuver roll, you roll as many yellow dice as your current speed. So your base maneuver roll right now is 3 yellows, which only have 2 shields apiece. And every shield is a swerve that takes 1 control away from you. And you're fine as long as you have any control.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to do that. So we'll try it later.
Okay, cool. Cool.
It's just like, why don't you try crack? And it's like, nah.
I mean, the first one's always free.
No, crack clearly. Now, so I've moved 1 forward and then turned.
Yep, if you wanted to. Now you do the same thing.
Yep.
2 more times. Now, if you do collide with something, that movement point ends there.
Okay.
So if you're partially through a movement point and you smack something, that one's spent, it's gone. But if you hit something and then you have 3 movement points left, you just push through.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so you're out there, you're done.
Yep.
You drove.
I just turned.
Yep.
I'll stay at 2.
Okay. Just being so cautious and careful.
Oh yeah, I mean this. Oh, Kiko's.
okay.
Oh shit.
Okay, so you're doing the first.
Kiko's getting a little wild.
So that's difficulty 1. So you're going speed 2.
Okay.
And you have gone difficulty 1, which is a green.
All right.
So you roll those dice. You don't want to see anything but stars in this roll. Stars are good. Okay.
Lots of stars.
You got 1 shield, which is the swerve. So we take 1 of your control away.
Okay.
For now. And that's it. And then you have 1 more movement point. I'm gonna also
Stop at any time.
now that we've done that, we're gonna talk about sliding. Yeah. Because the other thing you'll notice if you're looking at the turning key is there's a weird diagonal thing on there.
Can you do like Tokyo Drift type material?
You can fail on purpose to whip the back of your car around. If you ever wipe out real bad, you do fishtail. And I've seen someone do it on purpose to whip their car around, but that's also how you flip your car over and die.
And lose.
So you got to be careful. But sliding is putting the turning key under the car in the direction you're going and sliding it over 1 car width. And that is not a difficulty, but it is still your speed in dice.
Gotcha.
So if you want to slide, it's not going to add a whole bunch of stuff. It can't hurt your tires because it's only your speed dice, and that's only yellows, no wrenches. But that's how you slide back and forth. Now, sliding also is not a way to avoid walls because it's mostly parallel movement. So if you're coming at a wall, you can't be like, I'll just slide away from them. Because
I'll hit the wall farther over there.
It is forward movement, and okay.
So now, when would I choose in my movement to do slides?
A slide is a kind of movement point. So you can either move forward and turn, or you can slide. It's your choice.
Okay, that is so cool.
I just didn't want to bother you guys with sliding before because, okay, so now it is.
Next one, it's shooting.
Now it's on to combat, and I'm the first player.
Yes.
So, like I said before, I have linked machine guns on the front of my car, linked brush cutters on the front of my car. Now the brush cutters are range 1, so like
that's the blades.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's my saw blades. The grenade I have is range 2 out the side of my car, so there's nobody in the range of that either.
Right.
The machine guns I have on the front of my car are infinite range like most weapons in the game.
Okay, infinite range. There's a lot of
Now, the thing that matters here is the firing arc. They're only on the front and back. So it does not look like Jerry is in that firing arc because the nose of his car might be barely in it, but the box of his car isn't, which is what matters.
I think it might be okay.
And you're not either. So everybody gets a free hand cannon, just a pistol that is just a sidearm. And the sidearms, unless something says otherwise, only shoot out the windows the size of your car. But both my crew members can do it, so I'm just going to fire a sidearm shot at both of you.
Okay.
Just to spread the love. So, only thing that matters for range at this point is rerolls. So for every turning key, for every 2 car links beyond, you get 1 free ranged reroll when you get attacked.
So that's what distance means.
So yeah, so your lasers subtract 2 from that. So that means even all the way across the arena, you're pulling 2 of those range rerolls away from people. Wow. Which means if you're really close, they might not get any. So you're going to get 1 range reroll because you are at least
Just
1
past the tool.
beyond.
Gotcha.
Jerry's also only less than 1 beyond. So it matters when you're really far for getting more.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, you don't get any dice from your speed if you're out of control. So the range rerolls don't really help you when you're completely out of control. But a hand cannon rolls 3 blue dice.
Okay.
I have a rookie gunner and Possum, my driver that likes to kind of be out of control and still be able to drive.
Yeah.
So I have nothing that's adding to this attack. I'm going to shoot you first.
Okay.
So you are going to get defense dice equal to your speed, and then any bonuses from any of your stuff. Now, you don't have anything right now built on this car that would be giving you bonuses, but structure can do that.
Okay.
Other things can do that too. I don't think you have any defensive bonuses. These cars are built to be pretty basic and get shot up a lot. You have Rhino's black die in every defense roll. Okay, so I'm just looking for stars. So I got 3.
How about 3?
You're looking for shields to cancel my stars.
None.
Hey, we're teaching how this game works right away like we almost planned it.
Wow.
So you get 1 free range reroll.
Okay.
And I forgot something because we were so gentle and
so cranked.
you made a turn. So when you make a maneuver, you get an ace token because you're swerving around, you're hard to shoot at.
Got
and
it.
ace tokens, now you get one from your spoiler.
My
'cause it's
spoiler
just
generates
making
them.
you cool. But you got that earlier, I just forgot to give it to you.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you have 1 free range reroll from distance.
Shield.
Which is a shield, and you can choose to spend this to reroll again. And in this game,
Reroll is individual dice or the whole pool?
it's reroll 1 die, unless it says otherwise.
Yeah.
But also, there's no limitation on which dice you reroll. So if you can reroll a reroll, and different dice are better than others. Like blues have 3 shields, yellows have 2. So if you have 2 rerolls and there's 1 blue die in there, reroll that one until it hits a shield.
Oh, okay,
Because your likelihood's better.
At the end of the round, I'm going to have to give this back anyway.
At the end of the round, it's going to clear.
might as well use it.
But Jerry's going to shoot you too. And
Is he?
Jerry's got Jerry's got lasers, and you get 2 less range rerolls from lasers.
I will take
So you might want to save that, and it'll teach the people watching how damage works.
the single shield.
Okay, so you block 1 of my hits,
Okay.
so 2 get through. I'm shooting into the front of your car because targeting, which I didn't explain, but now I can. Targeting is I can shoot at cars that are in my arc, right? And we determined earlier my front arc goes out that way, can't see you guys.
Yeah.
The parts of your car I hit are what parts of your car can see me.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit hand wavy sometimes when cars are real close because technically a part of my car can shoot a part of your car if it doesn't really line up, but that part of your car can still see my car. So we hand wave. So the front of your car is pointed at me. No other arc of your car is pointed at me.
Yeah.
So that's the only place I can shoot.
That makes sense.
So my shot comes into the front of your car, does 2 damage. That 2 damage knocks your armor down to 0 because that's the first thing that takes damage. Now, if there was more damage, we would go to the cards for the internal damage. But I mean, guaranteed there will be. It's
Guaranteed.
called Car Wars. It's not called Cars Drive Around and Trade Mustard.
It isn't comedians getting coffee in cars.
It's not. So that was my shot against you. Now I'm going to shoot Jerry.
What?
With the other, whichever of my crew is firing out the other window. And I did not roll as good that time.
Okay, but I'm going speed 3.
You're going speed 3.
So I actually have 3 defense dice.
And Rhino gives you a bonus.
Rhino gives me the bonus.
And also, at this point, you can grab those dice and toss them in the tray too.
In the hole.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now that
now
we're done showing
I'm here to tell you right now that I already knew this. Because the speed is always guiding it with these yellow
As long as
dice.
you have control.
Exactly right.
Yep.
But it was already clear. And then I get, it's not a free success, but it is a black die.
Yeah,
Rhino.
the black die only has 1 shield on it, so it's a really low chance, but it is something.
Well, listen, I needed all of them because I was able to defend myself against this star.
You did. Okay. So my hand cannon shot didn't do much of anything. But my grenades will do more later, don't worry.
All right, now.
Okay, now it's your turn to attack.
Okay,
Now, if you had crew members that mattered, like you have machetes, so you have to
not
declare
shit guys like these.
that machete's firing this weapon.
Gotcha.
But when your crew members don't do anything, you just make your 2 attacks and you don't really care who's doing what because they don't matter. So you have machine guns on the side of your car,
Yeah.
a big particle beam on the front of your car, and then these electro lasers on the back. Now we know the back of your car can't see anything.
Not
matters.
currently, right? But machine gun on the side for you, and then the particle beam onto the Kiko, right?
Or if now your hand cannon is always an option. So you could be machine gun on the side to me, hand cannon to me too.
Oh, okay.
The hand cannon is
So the crew is really what determines my number of attacks,
Yes.
and then to determine what weapons I want to attack with.
Yes. And if a crew member gets knocked out, because crew members have their own
HP.
it's called durability in the game, and some of these cards will say crew or driver or gunner.
So it's going to screw up.
So you could lose your gunner, or you could lose Rhino mid-game and not have that black die defense.
And then rookie has to take the wheel.
And rookie has to take the wheel, and then rookie only has the fortitude to fire one weapon every round too. Because it's all like super sci-fi, crazy, Apache helicopter stuff where everybody can do everything in it, but it's just kind of a.
Well, yeah, it's all color LCDs and stuff in there. I mean, it's fine. But yeah, so the smart money, generally speaking, is probably to focused fire. But the particle beam is a laser.
It's better, and it's a laser.
It's a laser.
Okay.
So let's start with the Kiko shot.
So I'm going to also show people how things work by grabbing a card.
Yeah.
So we can show people more specifically with a weapon that's
Well, I was just going to say, because
I'm going to see if I can find real fast the actual particle beam cannon.
Yeah, because I have never played the game before, but I know exactly what I'm supposed to roll.
Yeah. Yeah. So where's the?
We'll just do it.
The best one's probably up
Put
here.
it over there. Yeah.
I think it's this one. Could be wrong. Yep,
You're wrong.
I was deeply wrong.
Okay, so I was talking about build points earlier and crew points and stuff. So that little circle in the top is your build points. So that's a 3-point weapon. It's got a name, particle beam. It's got a type, subtype, that kind of stuff. It's a laser. The thing that's important that Jerry's talking about right now is that column of symbols on the side. So that at the top, that black star with a 1 in it, that is damage.
It's a free success.
That says you get 1 plus whatever you roll. So certain weapons, slug weapons usually are like that. They're really reliable, and then some other weapons are. Then the rest of it, and every one of those notches has a color in it. So the red one's always the top, the yellow one's always the second one. And then the number inside that determines the number of dice you roll. So the red die doesn't often roll a wrench. It only has 1 wrench on it.
Correct.
So if that red die comes up a wrench, the laser starts a fire on the side of your car.
And the yellows have no wrenches on
yellows
them at all.
have no wrenches. So that laser is tuned to barely ever light fires. But the yellow has doubles on it.
So it might do a lot of damage.
Yes. And the red has no doubles, but other dice, like the green, has 2 doubles.
Right.
So you could get a total of 6 with this roll if you roll all the doubles and another success and get that free one. Or you could roll real bad.
I mean, this is also a
Always a
possibility.
possibility.
I love it.
Yeah. So 2
Okay,
hits.
so no fire and 2 hits, and you don't have anything giving you rerolls or whatever like that.
Not that I know of.
See, like you have the firing interface, so once per attack you can reroll 1 die. It does not work with sidearms.
But
But
what's interesting is that the sidearm, it's like at the top level, you might think, okay, this is not going to be the optimal play generally, but it is 3 dice.
It just doesn't spike as high.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really what you're trading off when you're buying different weapons is generally the amount that you can total at, you can top out at.
Yeah, the amount of,
Or the like consistent average damage you're going to get. And sometimes you might want to take weapons that top out really high, or sometimes you want to go with the slug weapons that might have an auto 2 and just roll 1 red die.
And just drive around.
It always hits all the time.
And just attrition, just grind somebody down.
Yeah. And that's the fun and freedom of the way that cars are built in this.
Right.
Is that you don't have to put any accessories. Like you have 2 computer basically. You have the spoiler.
Yeah.
You could put 1 gigantic gun on your car within limits of the points builds you're using.
Yeah.
And then like all kinds of computers to help it shoot better. And then you've just got to point your car at someone and just like, I roll 9 dice every time I point my car at you. Or you can scatter little guns and give your drivers little bonuses.
Are there any weapons that are turreted?
There are turreted weapons.
Okay.
They go in your crew section. They count as being on all 4 sides. They're exclusive, which means you can only have 1 exclusive card, which turrets, I believe, are the only exclusives right now. They don't usually hit very hard, but they have 360 vision.
Exactly.
So, and they are also, like I was saying earlier to you, I think, extra hit points exist on all these cards.
Exactly.
So a turret on top of your car is extra armor kind of for any side.
For any arc.
Because
Because it's on all arcs.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
All right, what do you think, Keek?
You rolled okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's decent.
So defense.
Yeah.
So defense is you stayed at speed 2.
Yep.
There's your D.
You roll your 2 yellow dice. You got a 1, and if
Spin.
and because you're being fired at with a laser and it's subtracting 2 of your automatic rerolls, which you're not very far away, so we know
Right.
that you're not getting a lot. Your only option for rerolls is that 1 ace token. All right, it didn't work. So now, I believe that from angles,
Should be
yeah,
side.
both the front and the side of your car can see Jerry's car.
Yeah.
So Jerry can choose either of those to be. So you want to shoot in the front because I knocked
Because
his armor out.
well, you've
the
already knocked out
Yeah.
the whole. Now, I'm sorry, Kiko. Obviously, that's rude, but
But it was only 1 success, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is the way this works. So there's this. If you're an old school Car Wars player, or if you've seen it, all the tables and charts and graphs and stuff. This is all in here.
All right.
So this is 6 cards, and this is the small deck. If you're playing above a certain, I think it's like 24 build points, you use the big deck because the weapons can hit harder.
Oh,
so
right.
there's more results on those cards, and some of the damage limits, which I'll explain in a second, go through farther. So every time an attack goes into interior damage, internal damage of some sort, we draw a card from here fresh after a shuffle. So it's not like pulling one of these cards will eliminate it later.
Gotcha.
These are just
So
a
it-
randomizer
put 'em
to
back in there.
see where it goes. So grab one of those. It's funner if you pick than I
Yeah.
pick. Okay. So the top of every card says structure.
here, I'll put it over here.
Yeah, stick it over on the close up. Farther, yeah. So the top of every card says structure. So if you have bonus defense on the side of your car, armor is
Yeah.
basically what that is. Although it's not armor because armor is technically a stat.
Right, yeah.
Structure counts as extra hit points basically. And that says no limit. So as much of that damage as that structure can take, it will take.
Okay.
But you don't have structure on the front of your car. So we ignore that. Anything that we can't do, we just skip.
Yeah. It's a program.
So then it says fire. Start 1 fire. So
Did it happen anyway?
So we take 1 of the damage that would be dealt, and we turn that into a fire on the front of your car.
Gotcha.
Now, if there was extra damage remaining, like if Jerry had rolled a 7 or whatever, the last thing on every card, just like the first thing on every card is structure, the last thing on every card is power plant. And there's also no limit on your power plant. So if Jerry would have rolled a big number on that, and with no structure on the front of your car, 1 of that would start a fire, unless you were already on fire, and the rest of it would go straight to the power plant.
Got it.
Now these cards, some of them say crew, some say driver, some say accessory, some say weapon.
Right?
So that was the one with the fewest results on
So
it.
this is the boilerplate standard one.
That's the most basic, straightforward one. It just caused a fire.
Here. I mean, let's let me.
There's the rest of them.
Yeah, here. I was just gonna say. I mean, so it could have started eating into, like, you can see how it's quite common.
Yeah.
So half the
Getting
deck,
into your weapons.
half the deck affects your crew. 1 says driver, 1 says runner, 1 says crew, which is your choice. If it says weapon or accessory, if there's 1 on that side, it counts. But if you have multiples, it's your choice.
Yeah.
So you can put a tiny machine gun on the side of your car to protect your big giant cannon for a little while
For a little
because it's a
while.
weapon.
Yeah.
But there is also like a gunner in the game that says, I don't like the first card that gets drawn, draw another one. So there's all kinds of little ways all kinds of dials and special abilities.
I think that's good.
Powers and stuff. And also, it's basically a chart that you would roll on, except it's a little bit more fun because it's an action. And it's really easy to just be like, oh, we just resolved this
just
thing.
run the
It's not
program.
like we have to go through this
Yeah.
giant table of crazy interactions.
Right here. So that went laser, but I've only just begun to fight.
Yeah, so you have your machine gun, which you can fire at me, or you can fire into Kiko's exposed nose.
Never.
Now, there'd be more range rerolls because the machine gun wouldn't do that. And you spent this.
Yeah, I spent that.
So this is machine gun
Okay.
right to you.
So we already determined that I'm going to get 1 free reroll from that.
Yeah.
And I didn't make any maneuvers, so I didn't get any ace tokens on my turn.
I was trying to say, so why would I use the machine gun over the 3 dice, over the 3 blue dice? And it's because
So-
this has wrenches.
So here's
Black
the
dice
deal.
have wrenches on them.
Black dice have 1 star
Yeah.
and 4 wrenches. So 5 of these sides are successes.
Yeah. And they shred tires.
And now the wrenches only hit the tires. And if I roll shields, I have to block the tires first. So if you roll a tire and 5 normal hits, and I roll 1 shield, I have to block the tire damage first.
Right.
But yeah, the deal is you can either roll 3 blue dice, which are 50-50 successes,
Right.
or 2 black dice, which are 5 out of 6 successes.
Yeah.
So you got 2 wrenches. And I had made the cautious choice of going speed 2, and I have nothing to give me any kind of bonuses. Possum says when I'm out of control, I get to roll a black die. So instead of speed, he gets a black die, but not when he's in control. So I rolled 1, so I blocked 1. So that just goes straight to my tires, which is, you'll also notice, completely avoids the armor on my car. It's just tire
Yeah,
damage.
tire is completely separate. And if
Now,
I get that all the way down, I chew up 4 control
I could
tokens.
have wheel guards that give me a bonus die when shred weapons target me, because the shred weapons are targeting the wheels.
But that's a point that you could be spending on something else.
I could have airless tires too that say no matter what my tire hit
Run
points
flat.
are at,
You got their run flat
I
tires?
can go whatever speed I want.
I mean, that's a good thing. You want to get that package.
But I'm not getting that control. I'm still losing the control,
Exactly.
but I can push it as far as I want. So
Right.
there's a basically we put out a couple of years worth of expansions because this was a Kickstarter and the game was
Exactly.
worked on for a long time
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that stuff. Instead of coming out with a core box and then 6 months later expansion and 6 months later, we put out a bunch. Now we are also working on expansions, but we
I've
put
seen.
out a lot of options. So if you get into the game with just a 2-player starter,
Yeah.
there's tons of ways of directions to go and extra things to add and all kinds of stuff.
Well, yeah. I can see even here on the dummy pad, like just the things that you unfold and it has a car already built. It sort of indicates on here that these items are part of a core set.
Every
They're part of a
card
set
will
3.
tell you what set it's in. So these things are also kind of shopping guides at the beginning.
No, it's smooth. All right, here. So
Okay, so you shot
machine
me.
gun. I shot ya.
Now we're on to Kiko. So
All right.
you have 1-shot rockets
Yes.
on the front of your car. You also have the targeting computer, which for one of your attacks, it's not a sidearm, you can add a blue die.
Yeah.
So that
cool.
ups by a 50% chance of getting 1 more success. And it works for anything until it's dead. So it works. And then once per turn, you can re-roll 1 of your dice in your attack. So these 2 are a good combo.
That's a fun car.
Especially on top of having the rocket, but the rocket goes off and it's gone.
Yeah. So
In the normal game, we would flip them over, but for this, we're going to just put a damage on anything that
Yeah.
would be destroyed.
So I have the option to shoot 2 rockets
You do. You're dry, but you have machete and you have machine guns.
with machete. I should probably at least use one of my machine guns.
Yeah, and you
Once per
have
round,
standard machine guns, which have 3 blue dice
Yeah.
and a white. Now the white has 2 faces that have wrenches on it, but one of those faces is a double.
Oh God!
So it's not as likely to roll a wrench as the black dice are.
It also has a double
It
star.
also has a double star.
The white is a kind of a cool.
You'll
choice.
also notice it's a D4 turn. It's got a double shield on it too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm
Open it up.
I only have one option with my machine gun, and that is.
Yeah, because the angle over here is a little bit
friend
outside
Jerry.
of me.
So let's start with that
you
one.
could unload on me with both rockets,
Right.
or you could spread the level a little bit.
I think I'm going to spread it. So let's start with the machine gun,
Okay.
which is 3 blue, 1 white, and
Are you
because
gonna
I
use
have
your targeting computer?
I will use my targeting computer.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, let's save the targeting computer for
okay.
the rocket.
For me, for the rocket.
Yeah, for you, and we'll add the black die for
For machete. Yeah.
Yep. That was not
That's
great,
not a
but
great
you
roll,
did say
and
you were
I'm
using
going
your
to
targeting interface?
definitely
Use the
so-
targeting interface.
Wait, did
Oh my God!
the white? But the
No,
white.
this was a miss.
Okay,
I
I
was
thought it was a shield.
It was a shield.
I thought it was a shield. Okay.
So I should definitely use.
Reroll.
So reroll.
It does have 4 success sides on it for this roll, so it's the die you want to reroll. Yeah. So you got the double, which is good.
Heck yeah. Okay,
So that means 1 tire damage and 3 normal damage are coming at you.
right, and so.
But you get a chance to block it first.
Okay, so let's see what we can do. I
you're-
mean, there's
yeah.
only 3 yellows.
And you're black because of Rhino.
Oh, that's right. Thanks, Rhino.
Don't forget Rhino. Rhino's there to try and keep you alive. Not going to do that great, but trying.
No,
Now, you also, distance-wise,
I can re-roll
that
one
is
of these.
this is 1. So that is 2. You are more than 2 away. So for every more than you get 1. So more than this is 1. More than this is 2.
Okay, so I don't want to be re-rolling this black die,
No, the black die is the
That's filth.
desperation roll.
but I do want to re-roll This grants me 2 rerolls, right?
Get you 2 distance rerolls.
Now, does he want to spend?
Now you also have an ace token on your
spoiler.
spoiler, and it's going to go away.
It's going to go away. So
True.
definitely.
I generate one every time.
but-
No.
Kiko could be trying to tease out that to fire the rocket at you because you know the front of that car also sees you.
I'm going to reroll much better next time.
And for this, you don't. If you're rolling all the same dice, you don't have to reroll one at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
But just keep in mind if you're playing. So wait, did you spin this?
You did
yeah.
spend it, yeah.
Okay, so you rerolled all 3 of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
had to. So I got 2 defenses.
You got 2 shields, and you had 1 tire,
tire,
and
yeah.
3 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of those tires, the tire gets blocked.
Yep.
And then one of the stars gets blocked, and then the other 2
and then the
go
other
through.
2, and so the armor's gone in the front.
Yeah.
If Kiko was shooting the front of your car, because
Yes, I was shooting the front of his car.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if.
Oh, yeah, but he's shooting the front because now it's at 0 and he wants to fire a rocket into the same hole.
Into the hole.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you're gonna targeting computer this rocket.
Yep. Target computer.
So
rocket.
the rocket is a green, a blue, and a white. So keep in mind the green has 2 different
double
sides that have
successes.
doubles.
Yeah.
And then you get did you get an extra blue for the computer?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Okay, and then we're just gonna put a damage on this rocket to show that it is gone.
Okay.
Now, rockets do explosion damage, which means a wrench is -1 control. But your control resets every round, so that's
Yeah.
only it's late game target painting.
Yeah.
Of like if you would rather I shoot Jerry and you can knock his control off of him, then he becomes
you
a
start
target.
grinding out my control and I become more delicious.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh God!
That was a real good roll.
Dude, we might have a chance to find out some new rules.
Well, we're gonna see some real damage. So
how will
this
they-
was another shot in the front. You're still gonna get your black die and your 3.
You know when an archer splits an arrow?
Okay, I got
that
1.
that was a 1, and you have no No, you do have the same 2
same,
rerolls
yeah.
because that's a rocket, and a laser would subtract that by 2.
No.
It did not. It did not work.
Filth.
So you blocked one of these.
Yes. So,
So yes.
4.
So 4 damage is coming into the front of your
I
car.
take 1, right?
You take 1 of those cards.
Okay.
We're gonna close cam this one again.
Yeah. Well, just so they can see the cool stuff.
So that says structure accessory.
Here,
You don't have
let me interpret
of those
this.
things.
Let me interpret this. Structure would be the armor plating I have on the front of the car, which is completely gone.
No. Armor plating is one thing. Structure cards, and I'll show you one of those too.
Oh, structure is a choice, is a game design. Like when I design my car.
So put this down there too. That's a structure card. So structure cards can either give you extra durability on a side, which is hit points, so they kind of act like extra armor, or they can do what that card does and give you bonus defense dice. So that might mean you have defense dice even if you're out of control and your speed's not helping you.
I see. So structure it's a code for cards.
Yes, and you're paying for those. So that the more structure you have, the less weapons you have, which is that balance that you want to ride.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now that we know this, structure, don't have it.
Don't have it.
Accessory.
You have a spoiler, but that's on the back of your car. So there's no accessory on the front of your car.
No. Because it would go to weapon, right? Or do these just like is
We
there
follow.
one of these that
There could be weapon on there.
Oh
or not.
shit. Okay, I hadn't gotten down to the 3rd one yet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that says crew limit 1.
But luckily Okay, so one of them, and I get to choose because it's crew, not
crew.
driver or gunner.
One of your people in your car got winged a little bit.
Yeah.
So put a damage on them. You want to do that on the rookie.
Yeah.
Because the rookie's gunner's not giving you any bonuses.
Exactly. And so then the other 3 go directly to the
So
power
then
plant.
No limit power plant means the rest of that damage goes straight to your power plant. Now, the good thing about power plant damage is it doesn't kill you until you're dead.
True.
It's not like your car works
what they
any
say. Right.
less
Yeah.
when you're at 1 power point.
Okay,
So that is what I would like to call
Amazing.
true damage.
that's the Kiko.
That's the real stuff. Okay. All
right.
So that was that was a round.
Yeah. Yep.
Except we are still onto the last phase, which is end of the round. So just basically count how many you have on your control.
Yep.
And your ace tokens. So you're gonna get an ace token back, and you didn't lose any control.
Nope.
Same thing for me, on control. And because we're just basically doing those 2 steps at the same time, because it's easy.
It's simultaneous.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the end you would lose all those things, and then I would pass this to you, and then nobody's tires took damage because we're at the top of the next round. So check speed.
Yep.
Nobody's tires.
Everybody's speed is okay.
I took 1 tire damage. I'm fine.
Yep.
So then we do the part where we would normally get our control and stuff, but we already handled that because we knew what we were doing.
Yep.
Now we are on to check fires, Kiko. So
There is some heat.
if you would like to let that fire burn, we are going to draw another card because you have no armor on that side. So that fire will burn onto the internal portion of your car.
Or spend 2
you
control.
can spend 2 control and flip that token back over.
I'll spend 2 control. For
Okay,
that one.
so that fire goes out. So you're doing fine. Now you can imagine if 3 or 4 sides of your car were on fire,
Yeah.
you may have to choose
You have to
not
decide which side gets browned first.
But fire is delayed damage.
Right.
So like if I hit you with flamethrowers and it lights a fire, it takes one of the successes from the roll and it lights a fire there. It doesn't do a damage then.
Right, until...
The damage cooks later, which means you might have armor on that side of your car, especially if you're playing a slightly bigger game where you have 4 or 5 armor to start with.
Right.
So you might just be able to safely let the fire burn through that armor.
Yeah.
But on at least one of our in-house live streams, one of our people has been knocked out because he was like, what's the chances I could get a crew card from my internal dam? And it was a crew card.
That's
It had
horrifying.
the driver had 1 hit point left, and it was a 50-50 because 3 of the cards
Well, exactly right.
in
They don't
effect
cover
through.
it. Yeah.
One of them technically wouldn't have hurt because it said gunner instead of driver or whatever. But
Yeah.
Okay, so you did that. That was managed fires.
All right. So.
So now we are on to moving our cars around.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take control.
We already took control.
Okay.
We did the take control step as part of the dump control, basically accounting. Okay, so Jerry is first player.
Yes.
So I am last player.
Right.
So my saw blades.
Well, last player is very good for
I
melee.
can put myself in a position to possibly saw somebody.
You know where everybody is doing stuff.
I will hopefully know where people have ended up.
Yes. Now,
Now, just like before, first part of this is deciding if you're going to accelerate or decelerate.
right. I still think 3 is good for me.
You don't want to go to 5?
No. I still think that 3 is good for me.
He promised me he was going to be so
For now.
wild and unhinged.
No, that's
During
before
this
that's
game.
before I understood the power of flames. So
Well, that's before the rookie took a light rocket in his teeth.
Yeah, it was just a little shrapnel, just a little bit of shrapnel.
yep. So I'm gonna move this up here. That's my first movement.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you gonna do any kind of?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna turn away.
Yep.
He's running. You've convinced him. It's not worth fighting. Now make sure you leave the back of your car lined up with the pivot point of the thing.
I love it.
He just wants to use these electro lasers.
He
Yes,
does want to point
exactly.
the butt of his car.
The butt
Okay,
of this
so
thing has got some juice.
You are doing a difficulty 2 turn.
I am. I want to see how it works.
So you are at speed 3.
I am.
Difficulty 1 is a green. Difficulty 2 is a yellow. So you're rolling all of those dice.
Oh, you just add them up on the tool.
Cumulative. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. And then what is bad and what is good?
Shields are bad. Wrenches are bad.
Stars are good.
Stars are fine.
So shields and wrenches, huh? All right.
Well, wrenches are tires. Shields are. Oh,
Look at that.
it's like he's an expert.
Yes.
You're sure you've never played Car Wars before? You can always tell when there's a
This
shark
is
at the table
the sauce.
because of dice rolls. Okay, so that was one of your 3 movement points.
Yes.
So what would you like to do? Are you trying to completely point your tail at us?
Yeah.
Okay.
So next, we just get our tool set back up, right?
You always go forward 1 car length before you get to choose to turn or anything. I feel like I'll have somebody in the front arc of my car this time.
Odds are likely.
I'm gonna have to hit the brakes at the end of this, aren't I?
Maybe you could also do D4 turns. D4 turns are 90-degree turns. You could do a couple of those and just try to not hit the wall.
Listen, I spent my luck with this roll. So we'll go to here. I like that.
So you're doing a D1 this time?
Yeah.
Okay, so take that extra yellow out because you're only overlapping the green, not
3
the yellow.
speed.
3 speed and the green.
Okay.
That was not as good.
Agreed.
A couple control, no big
I
deal.
don't care.
That's as much as
Listen, I'm
Kiko's
never gonna
fire
die.
cost.
I've got an unlimited amount of control
5
tokens.
control. Now the other thing about this is your spoiler has 2 effects.
Yes.
Your spoiler gives you an ace token, and when you would lose control as a result of a driving roll, you can instead spend 3 aces.
Yeah. So I can let those tokens
and-
build up on the spoiler.
And so that was your first turn, and this
Yeah.
is your second turn. Because every time you do a maneuver that's not a slight turn, you get an ace token.
That's pretty
So now you have 3 ace
now I
tokens.
have the 3.
So your last, if you were going to lose your very last control for something, you could. Now these are probably better as defense rerolls.
I think so too.
But they would keep you in control, which would give you defense dice, which
Absolutely.
is better than not having defense dice,
So there is that one.
as far as I know. I didn't make this game, so I might be wrong.
There we go.
And that was at a slight.
Yep.
Okay, so you just pointed
Yeah.
the back into your car at us,
At you.
and you're close to the wall, and I like to see that.
Well, I mean, we've all seen Tron. I mean, we know.
So using back weapons is very risky.
Not necessarily, because you have the
Depending
same.
on-
should have started
yeah,
here.
I guess
If I'd gone around
It all
here.
depends on where everybody
depends
is.
on-
But early on, it's really hard to get that.
Yeah.
So you probably
that
don't
hard.
want to put the biggest gun on the back of your car.
Right.
But if you have a bunch of if you have 4 armor at the start of the game and your front and your side are down to 0, you want the back of your car pointed at people.
I think a lot of this is essentially like jousting, right? There's going to be a lot of passing, and then you can capitalize on the
Or
pass.
chasing people around. depending.
sure.
But since turn order changes all the time, you're not always going to be following the same person.
Exactly.
Sometimes you might pass them and they might get a chance
Yeah,
to
yeah.
ram
Well,
into you.
yeah,
or
we
whatever.
have played some like aeronautical type war games, and that's basically the whole game.
Yeah.
Right. Right here. So I have gone over here.
Okay.
But unlike most aeronautical war games, you can go backwards in this
Yeah.
game.
No,
if
that's
you-
true.
If you do, like we had a game at Adepticon where these 2 people were fighting, and one person had only a gun on the front of their car, so they just stopped their car and they backed up slowly
And just
to
the
point the
arc
front of
just
their
got
car.
wider and
yeah,
wider.
you just.
And people are still talking about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
I'm people, and I'm still talking about it, so that
All right.
does count.
All right. So Kiko next.
I'm gonna bump up.
So just by 1. Okay, so not a hard accelerate, not
Just
not
smash
burning.
him.
You're gonna slide?
start a slide.
Okay, so put your fingers on your car so it doesn't move around.
Gotcha.
And then line up the angle. And the slide tool is just like the other tool. You turn it to the direction you're going to go.
Yeah.
And then, no, you always go forward when you slide.
Oh, it's gotcha.
Yep.
Well,
you-
I guess I don't want to slide then.
Oh, you were trying to get over here.
Yeah, I was trying to get over here, but it
Now, I
doesn't
mean,
work
you
that way.
can slide when you're going in reverse.
Gotcha.
And you could have hard braked down to 0 to be in reverse
Gotcha.
if you wanted to do that.
But I mean, I would just drive right into the side of his car.
I mean,
That's also an option.
I mean, he's right there.
I
Look at
wouldn't listen to the devil on your shoulder when it comes to smashing into me, because I also have a saw blade on the front of my
yeah,
Okay,
that's
never
not,
mind, never mind.
I
I
want to
forgot about
avoid
the
these
saw.
saw blades.
I mean, if as long as you're not in the front arc of my car, you're fine. But since you're hitting me, it's quite possible I could shift into reverse and back up and put you in the front arc of my car.
All right. D1.
Okay, so you get an ace token because you're doing a D1. You're also speed 3 now,
Yeah.
and D1 is the green. That was a pretty good roll. That was 1 tire and 1 control.
So you're spending tire to do cool stuff all the time.
Yeah, and the harder you turn,
Statistically speaking.
the
right?
harder you turn, because D3 and D4 are red and white.
Yeah,
There's more
you're getting shredded.
wrenches, but
whites
even
also
little
have-
ones have the chance of hurting your tires, just a little bit.
All right, I'm there.
This is so good. Oh, that's right. Machete's got the machine guns on the side.
But I have grenades in my car.
Well, yeah, it's not the combat
Okay,
phase yet.
okay. So you're done moving. I am going to. I don't want it. So if I stop, it's great because you're right there. Throw grenades at you, but then I don't
Yeah.
get any defense dice.
Right.
So I don't want to do that. I want to accelerate.
Of course.
So I want to.
Base defense is always your speed.
Yeah. As long as you're in control. So I just want to accelerate and try to get Jerry with my saws.
It's the first defense.
I'm gonna hard accelerate. I'm gonna go up by 2.
See, this is what I expected.
I'm gonna go from 2 to 4.
Spin those blades.
So the hard accelerate. Tell me how that rules.
So
that rule
you
works
can go
again?
up by 1 or down by 1 for free.
Yeah.
If you hard accelerate, it's up by 2, take a power plant damage.
Oh, you spend
If you
power.
hard brake, it's down by 2, take a tire damage. And there are brake pads that will negate that.
Yeah.
And there's a
If that's how you wanna play.
There's a super booster that will negate the power plant hard accelerate. There's ways to mitigate lots and lots. Basically, we created a bunch of things and then put a
Chad
bunch
is
of
very
dials.
excited about what you're doing
No,
right
this
now.
is going to be sick.
Okay, so I'm just
You'll be able to do it perfectly, I
just gonna
think.
slight 1, slight 2.
I can hear the Jaws music.
Yeah, it's a done situation.
I'm not going to hit you. I kind of wanted to ram and do this just to show people how ramming works. But yeah, that's 1 car length.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to Listen, I just had
but
something
hey,
installed.
you have double electro lasers in the back of your car, so I'm putting myself right up against those lasers.
This
And
should
you're
be
right
good.
in between both of us.
And always being the target in the middle of the field
Not recommended.
is always an interesting place to be. Okay, so you are first during the combat phase.
Yes.
I also did not make any maneuvers. I just did slights, so I don't get any ace tokens for any of that.
Right. God, that's true. That's true. I guess that's the one thing that I have.
So swerving might hurt your tires a little bit, or might hurt your control, but it's giving you defense.
Yeah.
So swerving is not that bad.
The resources in this game are not like the resources in other war games. Like, those are kind of interesting. I'm gaining that as I'm spinning around.
Yeah, and
essentially.
it's not necessarily active. Like in a lot of games, it's like I spend these magical tokens to do this thing.
Yeah.
In this, it's I risk losing these things to gain this thing or whatever. It's a lot of you kind
Calculations.
of have control, but you don't 100%. You're not literally often spending tokens, although your aces for your rerolls and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're driving, you're often risking things to hope that you get the best thing, but you can roll horrifically bad and just go out of control and smash into
So
the wall.
here's what's different about the lasers on the back of the car, Kiko. Each of them has two auto successes.
Yeah, and a red. So
That's new.
So they don't do a lot, but they always do at least two.
Right. And if you fire both of them,
And if you fire both of them,
Now we're talking-
Now you don't fire them together. Every weapon fires individually. I
Yeah.
have linked machine guns, which is one card that is effectively two guns that fire together.
Right.
But you can't like link two weapons that are separate cards.
Right.
Everything is on our end created to be like a turret or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you just use whatever the card says. So if you want to fire both these lasers at me, which you should do.
I do.
That's what you want to do.
they get resolved one at a time.
They get resolved one at a time. But I cranked my speed up to 4, so I am going
That's true.
speed 4 now. So
That's true. So let's roll this. Two base successes.
we'll just start like this. We'll just say
Yeah.
you have 2 successes,
Right?
and then whatever this die says, which is a
fire.
And I can't now. Here's the other thing about explosion and fire. Nothing I roll stops that.
It's a condition.
Yeah.
Right?
That effect says instead of a damage, you do a fire, but I don't block it. Now, if it's machine guns versus tires, that gets blocked because that's damage coming in. But
Yeah.
this is an effect.
Right.
It's different. Okay, so let's see if I can block those 2 with my speed. I was driving straight at you. I don't know how my speed would really help, but maybe. Oh, I did. I must have intimidated you.
That's right.
With my furious Jaws music.
That's right. Now you are
Not copyrighted Jaws music.
No, exactly.
Like close enough.
Public.
Close enough to being
Yeah.
Jaws music.
We all own it, basically. So, but you do have fire.
Yes, the fire did happen. So
Okay.
the front of my car catches on fire because that's the only part of my car that's pointed at you.
Right now, I'm going to fire the other laser.
Now you do the other laser.
Two base
so you get
successes.
2 basic successes and
And nothing.
okay. So we see if we can do this again. Yep, it worked again.
Yeah.
I must have been honking the horn and stuff
Yeah,
too.
exactly. All right. So, but there is some heat, which we like.
The other thing is, by going last, somebody came straight at me, but I'm not there anymore.
Right.
Right.
Now your machine guns can still. The side arcs are real wide.
Yeah.
So you can still fire that machine gun at
I
me.
was setting myself up for a broadside. So
You
we're
were-
gonna
you were
do that.
trying.
So let's start with the machine gun.
Yep.
It's 3
And a white.
and a white.
And a blue if you want. And you might as well put the blue on this
Because
attack
I'm just
it's
gonna use
because your
the
hand
pistol.
cannon's gonna be
Yeah,
the
the
other
hand cannon's gonna be the other one.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
one. And we are
And
right around.
2.
Yep. So it's
black die for machete.
Oh yeah, and you're firing a shred weapon, so machete likes that.
Could have been better.
Well, let's just say that you said that out loud too.
Yeah.
That you were using the interface.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to use that
So
on
black.
the white has 2 double faces on it. The blues only have 3 stars and 3 shields, so you don't want to waste this one reroll. This one has a 5 and 6 chance of a success, but this one has 2 double successes. And 2, so this one's 4.
It's already one
4
success.
faces
Yeah.
are good.
Okay.
So
What would
sometimes
you do
wanna-
IRL, Will?
Now I'm
You
an
risk?
agent, I'm an agent of chaos. I would go for this one because it's more fun. Because
It is fun.
since 4 of the faces are successes, you're not trading a lot of a risk, and there's a 1 in 3 chance of a double.
All right.
But that one's much more guaranteed to just turn into a success. So the safe play is the black die, but I don't like the safe.
I think I'd rather have 4 than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
I don't. 3?
Yeah.
It's a nice in
You know what? We
between.
like it. Let's
And
stick with it.
that was the other thing is a double on the white would have been a 4, and a success on the black would have been a 4. So it
Exactly
wouldn't
right.
have changed a ton.
Is what it is.
But this one had more straight tire damage.
Yes. Now that's
also.
still 3 successes.
Yeah, so that's still 3 successes. But we already know that my speed 4 makes
It's
me
high.
invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible, I say. Not so invincible.
Oh,
okay.
2
You take
damage.
2 damage.
So yes, the back of my car takes 2 damage, which is my armor, and now my armor's gone back there.
All right. Now we're gonna hand cannon,
Okay.
which is 3 blue.
Yep.
Blue.
Oh, I did have a reroll on that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but I already picked the dice up, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna not care.
Very shameful.
3 blue.
Remember this.
Nothing to boost it.
Yep, nothing, because those 2
Yeah.
things can't affect sidearms anyway.
I'll take it.
Hey,
I think I'm pretty actually safe here.
cleansed.
Can I spend this to
No,
reroll? Nope.
you
Gotcha.
can't. These are defense rerolls unless you have
Perfect.
There is a tracer machine gun that lets you spend aces to reroll.
Gotcha.
Now, see, that sounds like a good card. I bet it's very expensive.
It is pretty expensive.
All right. So I did a
It
little bit
does
of damage.
generate, I think it generates one of its own aces. Because usually, if a card lets you spend aces, it gives you at least one.
Some way.
You just have to generally get the rest of them by swerving around. Now, don't ask me scientifically how swerving around your car makes your tracer ammo better.
It's just the
but
movies. It happened in the
does.
movie.
It's an action movie. It doesn't have to make sense.
And we like
okay.
it.
So that was your 2 attacks. Now
that's
it's my turn
Yeah.
for the saw blades.
Right now, I've got a lot of ace reroll tokens, so
do.
we're doing great.
So you're in speed 3, and you have Rhino, so you get that black die. I get a yellow and 2 greens. So there's a lot of possibilities of doubles.
Yellows are the coin flips, or no, yellows have got double successes on them too.
Yes, 1 double success,
Yeah.
whereas greens have 2 double successes. But wrenches don't do anything with this. Now here's the other thing. These are a linked weapon, so when I attack with it, I can re-roll 2 of the dice, but only with this weapon. So it has a very good chance, because it's linked,
Right.
of getting successes. Well, I know which 2 dice I'm going to re-roll, because they're the best dice. So they don't have as many double successes on
Yeah,
them.
I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna, because it's fun.
You also got the 1 in 6 black shield, which is just luck.
Yeah, right? It's mwah. No. All right, here's what I take 1
So you take 1
in the back.
to the back of your car. So your slider goes down by 1.
Okay, now the machine gun opens
That
up,
could
right?
have been worse, yes.
Yeah, it could
So
have
now
been way worse.
So now and the car that I'm playing, the Warhawk build, is about linked weapons. So the machine guns are also linked.
It's about increasing
So
reliability.
It also has 2 rerolls on
Yeah.
its weapons. And it's a standard shred machine gun, so it's got the wrenches equal tire damage. So
Okay.
that was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to reroll this for my first one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, because I said it earlier, I have to.
Yeah.
For a second, I
See,
saw
listen,
a double in
you know
there.
what?
I saw
That's
it. It was
that's
there.
on you. That's
Okay.
Something petard.
Yeah.
So three. There was a hoisting that happened.
No,
I'm
but it's
for
like,
sure.
but that should be something you can install on the car. Like you get that petard hoist.
that
4 points.
that would make this a little bit more of a boat game than it already is. So your first shield's going to block this tire damage.
Yep.
Whatever you roll.
Let's get it. Ciao.
Okay. So you have an ace to re-roll again, and nobody else is going to attack you. This is the last attack of the round.
Let's re-roll both of these. Yeah.
Well, sure. It doesn't matter either way. So yeah, there
Does
you
it?
go.
What if every symbol was the good one? Imagine that world. What's the world you live in?
Also, I'm going to trust you guys that the chat is amazing because I'm a little out of practice trying to keep track of chat while teaching the game.
Hoisted on
I'm
his own
sorry.
Picard.
I'm sorry if I'm ignoring anybody in there, especially if any of my friends are making in jokes about me in the chat. I'm really apologize.
Honestly, I'm completely zoned into this. Right, so that is the culmination of all the attacks.
That's the second round.
Yeah.
So we go to clearing off tokens.
Yep.
Which, for clarity's sake, we'll do. So these are all gone.
Yep.
Should we pause, Josh? What? Oh, it looks like, I don't know, I was reading stuff about the stream.
Oh, is there a problem? Are we having issues? Oh, okay,
gotcha.
there was a hiccup. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so end of round.
Yeah.
Kiko becomes first player.
He does.
All of our tokens go away.
Yep, they're gone.
Check speed. Nobody's taking a significant amount of tire damage. Just a little bit of tire damage here and there.
Yep.
So everybody's still fine.
Yep.
So then we get our ace tokens and our control tokens. So you're going to get all those back to have 7 again.
1, 2, 3. Yep. I love what I'm seeing.
I still got 7. You've got your free ace.
Tell me about Mamba on the take control step.
I've been forgetting about Mamba.
Thank you.
What is Mamba?
I'm a jerk.
It's a snake.
So during the take control step, you roll a black die.
I'll take that result. No.
It's probably going to be the result.
If you get a star, you get an ace token. If you get a shield, a wrench, you get a control. So you get a free ace.
That's great.
I'm sorry I've been stealing ace tokens from you the
That's
whole
great.
game so far. Okay,
All right.
so nobody's on fire.
No. Well, somebody's
I'm
on fire.
on fire. I got
Somebody
lit
is on fire.
So I have to spend 2 control to get rid of that fire, and I will do that because that seems safe. I didn't take any actual damage on the front of my car, but I still don't want to let the fire burn all the way through me. And nobody else is on fire, so we're on to movement, and you are first.
All right.
Now here's the deal. If you collide with something, you generate damage based on your speed.
Oh.
So if you are going really fast and hit something,
Yeah.
you're going to roll a yellow die for your speed, just like defense, and stars are damage.
Oh, wow.
But that means if you're going really slow and you bump into something, it's probably not going to hurt you very much. The thing you hit doesn't generally matter. So if you hit another car going head on or whatever, only your speed and your dice roll matters. We simplified the collision thing way down. If you ever start a movement point pointing into something that won't move, like a wall, you just bounce 45 degrees off, foolishly drive into a corner.
Well, who would do that? I mean,
We'll see.
all right, Keith.
Okay, so what you got?
This is going to be
I'm
so
going to
bad.
pop down to.
You got slow?
Yeah, I'm going to slow to a
Is he gonna speed up?
1.
Oh, so a 1. Okay,
Because
because you're gonna do a D4.
all about the broadside. So,
You do still have a rocket on, and you do have the Wasp, the small machine guns on the back of your car. You have 2 of those.
I do.
They're small, and that's a lot of distance.
Is Machete also good with those?
So Machete's thing
shred
says
weapon.
all shred weapons.
weapon, and all those are category shred weapons.
But I love the standard machine.
No, it's fun.
But Machete's not just a machine gun person because there are shotguns that are also shred weapons. So Machete just likes to shred tires. Doesn't matter how,
Yeah.
as long as it's a shred weapon.
And I'm going to
Big turn.
D2.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so you get an ace for doing that maneuver. And then your D2 is roll 1 yellow for the speed, and then a yellow and a green for the difficulty of the turn.
That is really easy to calculate.
One of the core fundamental, I know the guys who made this, I've been talking to them a lot. I just came back to the company in 2021, but the people who made this are friends of mine and we talk a lot. And me writing a lot of scenarios and stuff for this in the companion book that you'll see sometime soon. We've talked a lot about the philosophy of it, and one of their core driving philosophies was everything that you really need to know is in front of you. There's nothing hiding in a book.
We don't got to flip through.
You don't have to be like, well, what does that rule mean? It's just using color-coded dice and all the specialty dice that let us hide the math inside the dice. So you took a little bit of tire damage.
Yep.
And you're fine.
But no,
Yeah,
but
they
no
really-
swerves.
Yeah, but they really wanted to make it so that you never have to really think about what something means. It'll be in front of you, and it means what it says it means. So you went real slow. I am going to either hit Jerry really hard or hit Jerry softer. So at this point, I'm going to go up to speed 5.
Oh, you're basically just going
I'm
to
just gonna
increase it.
floor it and hit you.
Kiko, I know what you're wondering. How does it work?
So this
You
is
aren't going to
this
believe
is-
how it works.
This is the physics that you missed by not being here for the hour where Jerry and I were
Gotcha.
not wasting time.
No, we were having a great time.
I just
mean,
meant for the setup of the stream. We didn't waste all that. It was
no.
it was the cameras.
It was
and
exquisite,
the cameras.
and yeah.
Okay, so I slide forward, less than 1 movement point. I touch Jerry. I lose the rest of that movement point.
Okay.
A collision has occurred.
Yeah.
So that's obviously the back of your car. So I'm smashing in the back of your car.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what's happening there.
Now, what's funny is I have seen someone roll a 7 on this many dice,
Yeah.
which is serious amounts of damage.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So where do you get this dice pull from?
Speed.
Speed?
I
All
increased
speed?
my speed
Gotcha.
to 5. Now, there are collision thing. There's a ram, there's a bumper, a spiked bumper
I mean,
plate.
like equipment.
There's a flaming bumper that if you contact someone, it lights a fire on that side of their car. So there's all kinds of little ways.
Gotcha.
If you want to build a ramming car, you can.
You can.
But there are limitations to, just like structures, you can't have more than one structure per side.
Okay.
There are subtypes things where you can't have more than one tire upgrade or more than one whatever. And a lot of the collision, the ramming bonuses or survival things are a frame upgrade. So you can only have one of those. So you have to choose, you can't build the perfect ramming car.
Right.
They really tried to also make it so that there wasn't one obvious perfect build in every circumstance. And ramming an early playtest, I have been told, was very powerful and very much the way
and
to
it's
go.
fun to do. I mean,
Yeah. But like we talked about earlier, there's a car on the table that has a great big giant metal plate on it.
Yeah.
And that is represented, that the big giant metal ram plate is a thing in the game you can have, which is a structure that's also a ram plate.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't roll as high as I wanted to.
okay. I'm so glad.
Now here's the other thing. There's a piece of equipment that lets you mitigate collision damage, but unless you have that, there's no mitigation.
Oh.
So I just rammed in the back of you.
Oh, no defense. God.
Oh, it's not about defense.
It's just like the roll cage will let you roll some dice and reduce the damage.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. So I just smashed in the back of your car. Now you had 1 armor on the back.
Yes, and so now we're getting
I
into the
did
structure.
2 damage. So we're gonna go internal and see if I can smash that spoiler off the back of your car or not. So grab one of those.
Rude.
I am rude. It's okay. Okay, so no structure.
Tires.
Technically, I mashed your tires some in that collision.
There's probably a situation where it's like you get up underneath the back of the car.
Now you'll also notice that it says limit
Tires limit 2.
2.
Yeah.
So that means they're not always limit 1, even though they're not the structure or the whatever. So
Right.
your armor ate one of that, and your tires eat the other. Now here's what Jerry's been excited about.
Pushing?
Yes.
So there are no complicated collision physics in the game. There are just real life physics. So when I move my car, I measure my movement just like normal, being slow and methodical and pushing Jerry's car out of my way. So if I continue to push and we're saying that car exists, that would be a pile-up collision where I would create a new collision by pushing Jerry into an existing object. So if I sandwiched you between me and the wall, now I'm always going to get hit by that collision, but also the thing that hits the new thing, those two both.
Yeah.
So you can't have a 3-thing damage crank
just
kind of going.
Starts
But
exponentially.
if I somehow
growing.
continued pushing, the things in the middle of the sandwich wouldn't
Yeah.
keep taking things. Only me and the new things.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do instead, just to be wild and crazy at speed 5, is I'm going to go back to where Kiko's at. So my first movement was hitting you. My second movement is doing this. This might put me out of control. This might make my car flip. Who knows? We'll see. I'm going speed 5.
Yes. I know.
We're going max difficulty. So all 4.
This is the Dark Souls of Star Wars.
Yes.
Ooh, some tire damage.
Lots of stars. Okay, so 2 tire damage and 4 control loss. But I was at 5 control because I put out a fire. So I did not wipe myself out. So I'm gonna I did roll the worst result on that tire thing I could roll.
So what would that have meant, Will?
So for every control I cannot pay,
Yeah.
I take a tire damage
Yeah.
and I spin out. So we put this here.
Yep.
And my car spins this way.
Oh, you fishtail on the back.
So I fishtail. So for every control I can't pay for, I go 1 notch. Which I've said earlier,
dope.
I've seen people.
That's fly though.
Can you choose not to spend control?
No, you have to. So you
gotcha.
have to go out of control to do the crazy whip around.
it.
But if I really wanted to get the front of my car pointed at you, and I only had 1 movement point left,
Right.
maybe I push it as hard as I can to get my car to flip around. But if I ever go to D4 and can't, and I have more
And
failures,
that's when you roll.
That's when
I
you flip.
and I'm gone. So that was only 2 of my 5 movement. So the rest of these movements are going to be lower, but I can't keep making slights because the wall's
You're
there.
gonna have to pay
And
again,
you're
and you
out of
have no
control.
control.
No, I have 1 control. I have
you
one
have
control.
1 control.
I have 1 control.
That's
And
not a lot.
it's possible it's possible that I could not roll a skid in all these
You know
dice. I mean,
perfectly well
earlier
that's not true.
you rolled all stars earlier.
me. You're talking about
You were
me, baby?
Amazing.
Some swerves.
Okay, so we're gonna another
Tire damage.
Another tire. So we'll mark another tire on me.
So you have to spend the tire.
Yeah, you have to. The tire happens unless you have a way to mitigate it.
Right.
like
But I
your
mean, in the
spoiler
game,
lets you mitigate
it's like the way HP in Magic is actually like a resource that you need
Yeah.
to spend.
Now
tire is a resource.
now I gained ace tokens from doing that
From
stuff.
doing all this crazy shit.
But if I have no control, I don't get to roll my defense dice.
Right.
So I don't have a thing to do with these.
Yeah.
I should. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you, chat. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I completely
look at
forgot.
the demons. Like, oh, what about the?
So I already went out of control because when you collide with somebody, you do lose one control, both of you. So I took one of your control away. Oh no, you went from 7 to 6.
I'm doing great.
So I technically can't normally make turns, but I have Possum driving my car, and Possum doesn't mind going out of control.
Oh, that's right.
So I can still make up to D1 turns as Possum. But so technically I didn't break the rules yet.
Yeah.
Because we can go back in time and take the control away, and Possum can still make these kind of turns at this control. But that means I have -2 and have no control to spend to do it, so my car does spin out too. But that helps me to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not pointing at the wall as much as I want. So that was 1, 2, 3, right? So now we can just do some slights to get back. So 4,
I have seen this.
5. I'm sure that you
a
have
movie.
a memory of this happening to a car, whether it was in real life or in a movie.
Right.
Hopefully, it was in a stunt driver situation and not
Yeah,
real life.
exactly. Obviously,
But-
these are trained drivers.
So
a closed course.
Yes, closed course. So here's the thing that matters the most. I have no control. That means I have no defense dice from my speed.
Got it.
So if you shoot me, there is nothing
This might be really
I
bad.
can do about it. And yes,
The machine gun, the machete.
yeah, or the rocket.
I get it. Okay, so collisions are the way to do damage in the movement phase.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, they can cost people control. So if you can set someone on fire and hit them and other stuff, you can chew their control down before the attack phase starts. All right. And like Steve Jackson Games said, and I also pushed Jerry into a collision.
Yeah.
So like the company said, Possum to the rescue. Possum's a very, very popular driver.
Famous. Well, because it's for perverts like you.
Because Possum lets you continue driving in a real way, but it's super dangerous.
Yeah.
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 And I did lie. Technically, I still get 1 black defense dice in my defense. So those ace tokens I got will help me a tiny
Fire
bit.
demon, still waiting for your damage from collision.
What? What's happening?
So do you take damage from this collision?
Not from your clip. Oh no,
You rammed him.
Oh yeah, I got so excited about smashing Jerry that I didn't draw my own card.
Here, I'll help.
So it was only a couple. No, wait, yeah, it was only a couple because I rolled so badly. So yeah, we'll draw. You can take it and put it over there. Oh, there's one of the weird ones.
Opposite armor.
So one of the 6 does opposite armor damage. So you can crumple your car so much that somehow, like a bullet can
Something
go.
shakes loose on the
Yeah.
back
A
end.
bullet can go through the front of your car and bounce around a little bit and pop out the back.
Right, so for me it was 2. So you take 2 on your back,
I do.
but that's really bad for you because the back of your car has no armor.
Yeah, we've already established the back of my car has no armor. So it goes to weapon, and I do have a weapon on the front of my car. So I'm going to put a damage on the linked machine guns because they have 2 durability instead of just 1. That would have knocked out my saw blades. What was the next one on that card? Driver. So Possum got crunched a little bit in that wreck. That was no big deal. That was just a small collision. Possum's got 2 more durability. Thank you, chat, for keeping me honest every once in a while.
So how do you determine how much damage you take from that
It's
ramp?
the same dice roll.
Same
Oh,
dice.
it's just exactly
The
the same dice.
the thing that starts the collision determines the amount of dice rolled, and everybody takes
and
that
everybody
amount of
takes that because it's the wreck that's generating
dice.
the
Yes.
damage. Okay.
Now, like I said, if I had a roll cage or something like that that mitigated it, I might be able to roll dice and block it. But yeah.
All right. Now, I am.
Machete. Or
Well, no, I have to. I'm in huge trouble here.
You were
Kiko.
first player, so movement is
that's
still
right.
happening.
Gotcha.
So Jerry is going to have a collision because,
or pull the emergency
or
brake.
Yeah.
well, you can only slow down by 2 or speed up by 2.
Yeah.
You can't speed up or slow down by more than that. So you could
Yeah.
try to mitigate the collision damage by dropping down to 1 by hard braking.
Yes. That's what I'm going to do. So I would take 1 damage. Oh no, the tires, hard
You
braking.
take 1 tire damage.
I would take 1 tire damage.
Yes, and then your speed would go down by 2.
Okay. And then
And then you would slide forward, bump that car, so you don't even really need to measure it, just slide it forward.
Yep.
That was your 1 movement point that you have.
I roll,
You roll
one
one
yellow
die.
die because that's the speed.
You don't do any damage to yourself.
Woo.
You just gently rolled into that.
And that's the end of that movement, right?
And that's, yeah, if you collide with something, your movement ends. That movement point ends.
Exactly.
And you don't have any more movement points, so you're not pushing that
So
car
we're
around.
done. And now I've just got
But I'll-
substantial.
Yeah,
My Laserians are about to unleash.
yeah.
All right, Kiko. Machete.
Here it comes. So 3 blue, 1 white.
It's pretty sick that the belt is fed over the
Belt fed
top
goes-
of the
yeah,
car.
I mean, you've got a big enough gun, and you don't want to put the ammo inside.
No,
Something
I
bad
want that
might
in
happen.
here.
It doesn't look as cool.
I gotta keep shit back there.
Yeah.
We're gonna add one with the targeting computer.
Where's the rest of your family going to ride in that station wagon if it's full of ammo?
This is a hearse.
And I have to declare whether I'm gonna reroll
You have to
one now
declare
before the attack?
what you're using before. Yeah.
Gotcha. So,
So if you're going to declare the computer and the targeting assistance,
black
you
for
have to do
machete. So I have declared the reroll.
Yeah,
Took down some tires.
So that's pretty good.
Gonna do my reroll.
Okay. So I still have this black defense die because Possum is
is
a little
Possum.
wily, is even when they're out of control. And I have ace tokens and range rerolls.
But there's no shield on the black die.
There's 1 shield on the black die.
Oh, there is?
Because you have a free shield all the time.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Okay. So I blocked 1 of those incoming tire hits. The other tire hit got me.
Okay.
So I'm down to 5 tires. So now my max speed is 4. And you were shooting me in
The side.
the side. The side has full armor. And that's the left side.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I take 1 damage on the left.
Okay. Hand cannon.
Okay.
It's just 3 blue.
Hey.
Pretty good. I don't have any. I have range rerolls, but no nothing. So at least 1. Oh, crazy.
I want to do the front with hand cannon.
Okay. Didn't help. Didn't do me any good. The front has armor too.
Okay.
And you rolled what, 2?
2.
Okay, so that takes the armor off the front.
Okay, so those two sides are naked.
I'm a little chewed up. Front and back and left. Left has 1 armor, right has 2.
Man, I guess, what do you got on the sides here?
I have nothing on the sides.
So it's,
Besides my hand cannon and my grenades.
okay. So you're next, right?
I am next.
Yep.
So I'm just hand cannoning back.
Okay.
So that was, wow. This is the best way to demo a game. Lose real bad.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel so empowered.
I'm doing it on purpose. Oh, that was better. Okay, that was a 3. Okay, but your speed is 1,
Right.
so you do get 1 yellow die. You have some aces,
And
and
then you have 1 reroll from range, or
so it is.
what's the best way to calculate this?
So you go. So we can do it with multiple sticks.
yeah.
So
Oh,
any
right.
more than 1 is 1 reroll.
Okay.
Any more than 2 is 2 rerolls.
So this is 2 rerolls.
So this is 2 rerolls.
Yep.
But I only got 1 die.
Yeah. Well, but you can
you-
reroll
if
and
you
a
reroll
reroll and
gotcha.
reroll and reroll. Yeah.
So
You also-
I need shields.
You need shields.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, so
So
I'll
you
take
take 2 on the right, and you have right armor.
Speed being defense is a whole kettle of fish.
But like I said, structure cards can give you bonus defense dice and that kind of
Oh,
stuff
no,
too.
no,
So
no,
you can
absolutely.
build up a decent dice pool without having to rely on speed. But speed is the easiest. It's
All right.
free.
Well, I've got,
Just cost you later.
so there's nothing on, there's no armor on the back.
There's no armor on the back.
Could I have done 2 machine guns?
Nope. Because
so
you
only
can
one on
only
the side?
fire each weapon once.
okay.
Now there is 1 crew member that can let you refire like a cost 1 weapon a second
Gotcha.
time,
Okay.
and so there's
Fun.
nice little ways to play around with that.
But your 2 hand cannons were each Driver or crew.
the hand cannon breaks that rule because everybody is equipped with every sidearm. So if I
You have an unlimited number of that card.
yeah, like the grenades, or there's some machine guns, and there's laser pistols and stuff. Whatever sidearm you have, both crew are equipped with it.
Are these larger? Are there larger cars that have more crew?
So there are divisions where you can build anything you want, but the core limits are one driver, one gunner.
Okay.
Now,
Master and apprentice.
yeah. Now the fun thing is always once you own a game and you've played it enough to get your head around it.
Yeah.
To experiment.
Yeah.
And we are doing wacky scenarios where like you have a spare gunner in a bunker on the corner and you can equip him with his own build points, and he might have a machine gun with a scope and stuff
See,
on
that
it.
sounds. I'm just in my mind. It's like Mad Max. I'm just like, how many weirdos do we have strapped on this?
Now that's part of, if you really want full freedom,
Yeah.
Old Car Wars is the game you want.
Oh, they have
Because
that.
old Car Wars didn't care as much about balance. I'm gonna say.
Let's say that. Well,
Because there were a lot of like, I have a bus with 68 people on it, and they all have knives. Like,
oh, I remember this
that was-
era.
yeah.
Every game in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
And the fun thing, the fun thing to ask those people is they're like, I love this build I had back in the 80s. It was like this and this and this and this. It was so broken. And we're like, and did people want to play a second game of Car Wars with you? And you're like, no, I could, strangely enough, I could never get people to agree to a second game with me.
I don't know why.
So yeah,
Now-
we tried to plug some loopholes and stuff in this game, and one of those restrictions is one driver, one gunner.
Lasers.
Lasers.
But lasers.
Your ass.
Yes, my ass, your lasers.
That's the. I mean, who hasn't seen this in the personals?
There's some sort of probing going on.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that here.
And remember, lasers reduce range rerolls by 2.
Exactly.
So
So there's no rerolls happening here,
no rerolls happening.
and you don't really have much
I have a black die.
defense, right?
I spent my ace tokens. I have a black die.
Well, let's hope. So we start with 2 successes,
Yep, 2 successes
just as in
and a red.
just as in the days of yore,
We've seen this already.
and then we roll a red.
Okay, so that one was not anything because
Well,
you have no
that's
ways
very
to reroll.
hurtful. Yeah.
It didn't help me at all. So you shot me in my unarmored
I shot you.
tail feathers
Yes.
for 2 damage.
Correct.
So pull one of those cards out of there and show the people what they want. Oh, look, it's a
Fire.
It's a fire.
So you start 1 fire, and that takes up 1 of my damage.
It does take up 1 of your damage.
Right, and then the last one is a point of damage to your power plant.
So my power plant goes to 8.
Okay,
And then you shoot me again.
and then I shoot you again. Well, great news. It starts with 2 successes. And there's a 3rd success.
Okay, let's see if I can 1 and 6 this. I can't. Okay, so we'll shuffle these a little bit.
This is great.
Yeah, I mean that Legemon rerun.
Lag Demon. Lag Demon returns.
Demon.
Oh, Lag Demon. Okay, I thought it was like a Pokemon thing, like Digimon. I was saying
Lagdemon? I don't know.
Lagamons? What is happening?
Lagomorphs?
I mean, Lag Demon is
a rabbit?
correct. I mean,
The people, Steve Jackson Games, the people shall have fire.
okay, what's that one?
Ooh.
So I don't have an accessory. The only thing on the back of my car is my machine guns.
Okay.
Crew.
But crew. So we're gonna. Possum has taken a damage because I got a driver earlier. So my rookie gunner is gonna take 1 of those damage.
Okay.
And then
And you
two
did
more.
3
To the power
total.
plant. Yeah.
So that's 2 more to my power plant. I'm down to 6 power plant hit points. Give me that card back, please. We'll probably need it later.
What a delight.
Okay, so the end of the round,
Yeah.
excess tokens go away,
We.
right? So
We.
you're down to 6, so
Yeah.
you're not going to lose any. You're at what? You're at 7 still, so you didn't even lose any.
Yeah.
I'm going to get mine back. I went from 0 back to 7. Ace tokens are gone, although Jerry does keep his.
Hang on a second. Do you actually have 7, or your tires screwed up enough?
So this is what we're doing. I am at speed 5.
Yeah.
That covers all the control on that dial.
Yeah.
And my tires are down to 5, which means I only have 3 controls showing. So normally I would go back all the way to 7.
Yeah.
But since I am down a little bit here and there, just a little bit here and there, my speed is still 5. My speed is amazing. Yeah, I'm at 3 control. And there's no way I can get that back except for slowing myself back down.
Well, exactly. But is it not true that your tire damage is such that you can't even go speed 5.
Yes, because in the check speed step, it's like he's learning. It's like watching a little baby bird fly out of the nest. So yes, the check speed step at the beginning of the round is entirely about that.
Yeah.
How fast are you going? What do your tires say? Drop down to the max speed. There's no extra penalty for that, but that does drop you down. Now, the beauty of that is it could have, in a different world, shown me a control token icon, but the 4 doesn't show any control token icon.
Yeah.
So that didn't gain me a control token by being forced to drive slower.
So my Mamba roll gains me a control token.
Okay.
Exquisite. All right, well, here, I'm going to throw it into reverse.
It is actually back to...
Yeah, I am first player.
I'm so excited. I have a whole plan.
I'm going to leave you on that side of the arena, if that's okay with you.
Well, the lasers are, you know.
The lasers are okay, but at a certain distance, they start to lose a little bit of their efficacy. I'm going to drop to speed 3.
Could be for the best.
The thing I have to think about here is Kiko can only go up to speed 3. So I only have front and rear weapons.
Oh, so now
really,
you have to now you have to calculate his.
So like
path.
if I come straight at Kiko can
gone.
get over here. So maybe I want to be aiming a little bit different, but I don't want to just drive right there because being here doesn't help me with my saws. The saws benefit a lot from more restrictions.
Yes.
We make a 6x4 arena called the double drum, which is 2 big circles with big like concrete posts in the middle. So it's a weird figure 8 racetrack and some other stuff like that. And so I've seen someone use all kinds of melee weapons on that because there's a very limited line, and if everyone's going this way around and you go the opposite way around, you're going to catch somebody eventually. So let's just be
We gonna slide?
just gentle and calm and relaxed. Keep all these control tokens, not do anything too nutty. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to turn at all. I think I'm just going to do this. Actually, no, I'm going to turn.
You got to calculate
I'm going to turn this way to point my machine guns wider into the middle.
into the Jerry.
Yeah, into the possibility of a Jerry being out there somewhere. Wow. I rolled a D1 at speed 3. You know how many control I had at the start of the turn? I had this many control at the start of the turn.
So you were spinning out?
So I am spinning out. I lose a tire, and I fishtail just a tiny bit. So see, sometimes dice games say you thought you had a plan. Well, guess what? So I turned this way.
And
So you fishtail the opposite way you turned.
gotcha. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I think. I don't remember.
No, this is right.
yeah, that's...
So I do that.
I mean, we don't even hate the movement, but
if I'm wrong,
but it devoured your control tokens.
It just literally wiped me out. I'm sitting here out of control again.
So you lost a heap of control tokens.
I lost all my control.
Your tires got.
My tires took
juiced.
took 1 extra damage for just having to spin that extra.
All right. Well, here I got great news for you as an instructor.
You're just gonna back up slowly,
Yes.
lasering me
So-
the whole way.
Because I'm at speed 1, without any penalty, without hesitation,
Yes.
I can go to speed 0, which is the same as R1.
Yes.
Right?
So you're in reverse 1 now.
Exactly.
So now you can turn in reverse the same way as you would turn normally. But you also know exactly where I'm at. So you don't really need to turn at all if you don't want to. And you also generally, I mean, Kiko could also reverse.
I could.
You could. But
right.
you might as well point blank me with that rocket.
I have done it. I thought this was going to end with me hitting the side of the wall. I thought it was a game grid. Nah.
I think 1's great for now.
It's so slow. It's like a Sunday stroll over here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's God, Machete is about to open it up.
Yeah, there's
Little slight turn. Dude, this side of this and this on your car, they're not in a good place.
I've got 1 armor on the side. On that
There's still
side.
one over there.
There's still 1 left armor.
Oh, the front
So
is
Kiko wants
toast.
to get in the front if you want to have no armor to deal with. That's a steep.
Oh, he's gonna hit
that's a
his
steep
rocket.
turn.
I'm gonna rocket into the side is what I want.
Perfect. Right here. So
So the other thing you could line up is you could line up the rocket and one of your sides on me. right?
Just get that line. Get him on the line.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and remember, the sides of me that can see you are your targeting. The side you shoot from doesn't have to see the side you target.
Gotcha.
So if you point your car slightly into my car, your front,
this line right
your
here.
front line will line up with me,
And the side.
and your side arc will line up with
Got
me.
it.
So yeah, so your
This is
front sees
real.
me and your side sees me.
Okay.
Oh, this is real bad, Keek. Real bad
Not
for
for me.
somebody.
And that is one of the prototype cars, so it doesn't go
it's-
on the
gotcha.
base.
It's mega
quite
wobble.
well. I had prearranged all cars that fit on their bases.
Yeah, and I completely ruined
pulled
it.
an audible, and
Yeah.
it's fine. It's just some of those cars were 3D prints, and some of them were factory, early factory builds.
I was up all night making sure that it was great. Now,
I mean, I did check last minute in the middle of the night, some other things.
so you got some.
Yeah.
Take it away. You're going, right?
I get to go first.
Oh, yeah.
But the good thing about that is that the front of my car cannot see. So that's the perfect place to be in, because that means my machine guns don't point at the front of your car. And my machine guns also don't look like they point at Jerry, because it's pretty parallel from my angle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is definitely.
So I'm just gonna hand cannon Kiko twice, and we're just gonna see
what about
what happens.
grenades?
Oh yeah, I do have range 2 grenades, and the grenade is a red, a green, and a white, and it is a concussion weapon, so it can knock control off you. So that is better.
Oh, wild. That's a great idea.
So max damage is
I'm
higher
gonna
on
say
this.
same team to myself.
yeah.
Thanks for helping to express the full demo to the crowds at home.
If you ever need me
That's it.
for the next demo,
All right, here we like this.
Okay.
I mean, but I'm saying that like, what a cool weapon idea. So maybe you
Yeah.
hit somebody
So
with the
it's-
stun grenade
so
first.
it's the same number of dice,
gotcha.
but it spikes higher, and it has the chance of doing concussion. But concussion isn't going to hurt you really that
Right.
bad, unless I somehow could hit you multiple times, and then Jerry could hit you multiple times.
Yeah.
And you could have messed up a driving roll like I did. Like there's ways, but when you have this much, because the other thing about fire and concussion, it is one and done. The first wrench turns into that, and then the rest turn into damage.
right.
So tires are all tire damage, but flames and stuff are a trigger, and then the rest of it becomes damage. So I'm really hoping to not roll a wrench here for max damage.
How about a wrench?
So that's a concussion. So you technically lose the control after the roll because it can't put you out of control.
Right.
So you're gonna defend against 2 successes, and
it's
you're
only
going
one die.
You're going speed 1. So good luck. Nope. Okay, and that is that's the front of your car, or actually the front or the right. I'm going to go for the front, and hopefully weapon will come up, and that rocket will get blown off before you shoot me with it.
God, it could happen that way.
It could. I saw it happen. I've seen it happen in other demos.
That's not what I want for you, Kiko.
Opposite armor.
Yep.
So my grenade bounced over, and
So from the front to the back,
I was shooting your front, so yeah,
yep.
it goes into your back.
and that's 2.
And it was a 2, yes.
So it brings
Zero
that
it out.
So it just knocks out your armor. So then I
Then you got
the
3
cool thing-
blues. Yeah.
No, the cool thing about sidearms is every crew member is equipped with all the sidearms.
Right.
So that means more grenades.
Oh, it's considered a sidearm.
Yes, that's the sidearms are crew point weapons as opposed to build point weapons.
Oh, I see.
So possum is the combo with grenades, right?
No, possum is can still drive when out of control.
Right, but you want to get in range with his grenades.
It does help, but there are gunners that will give you bonuses, and my favorite, there's 0 point rookies.
Yeah,
Right?
as I've seen.
That have no abilities.
Right.
There are also 2 0-point cards. There's a driver and a gunner,
Yeah.
but the driver gives you shooting bonuses and the gunner gives you driving bonuses. So they're like a driver being forced to shoot the guns and a gunner being
This is
forced
like a
to
rally
drive the
team.
car. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, grenades.
Yes, grenades.
Which side? Front again?
Same thing.
Okay.
We'll just see if it'll work again. It worked okay again.
So 2.
So 2.
1 defense.
This is it. No.
Yep. Okay. So this actually maybe isn't opposite armor, and actually it can't be opposite armor now because there's no opposite armor on that anymore.
You still want that weapon though.
I still want the weapon though. I want the rocket so that it doesn't hit me.
Fire.
Fire.
No weapon.
Okay, so that means one starts a fire, one goes to your power plant. That's the first time you've taken power plant damage
Doing
this
great.
whole game. We need to maybe collude.
We need to team
collude
up.
a
As
little
soon
bit.
as you blow up, I'm gonna.
As soon as I'm out of the game, you'll finish Kiko off.
Yep.
I don't think that's how most of these like King of the Hill kind of games work. But I mean, you
There's always.
have
There's
the faith.
There's always.
Butt lasers.
Yes.
Okay, butt lasers.
All right, here they come. 2 successes, as we have suggested.
Now I might get rerolls now because we're pretty far apart. But remember, it's only the black die.
Right. So yeah, this is one shot.
Yep.
3.
Okay, so no. And I have a couple of rerolls from this.
No. Yeah, you got it.
So the third one, which I'm pretty sure I have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. 'cause-
Definitely. 2
Yeah,
rerolls.
okay. So I get 2 rerolls. So I use them. So one
you
got
take 2.
blocked. And this is in the back of my car,
Correct.
which is also on fire.
Yes.
It's also on fire.
Yes. It's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
That's a goblin energy. Here we go.
Oof.
Structure.
limit 2 tires.
Yeah.
2 tires.
Okay, well my tires are at 2 now. My maximum speed is 2 now. Okay, and you did one more, right? You did 3 total.
You did block 1.
You blocked 1.
Oh yeah, I blocked one because my black die
your rerolls.
did come through. And
Don't worry.
we're
We're gonna have another
gonna do this again. It's getting really redundant in here, but I think it's working for you.
No.
Okay, so I still get. Actually, I take 1 more damage because lasers reduce rerolls by 2, and I had 2 rerolls. So I was
right.
cheating. So I don't
Gotcha.
get any rerolls. I get 1 die roll and then nothing. So I'll put 1 more damage
Okay.
on.
On the tires.
Tires.
No, it was. It
was limited 2, right?
It was limit 2, and then it was power
Yeah.
plant. So I took a power plant damage.
Right. So there's 2 more damage there.
I'm at 5 power plant. I'm
Okay.
I'm okay. Take one of those and show me where it hurts.
Where it hurts. Accessory.
Okay, I don't have an accessory, but I do have a weapon on the back of my car.
Yep, limit
Right,
1.
limit
Limit 1. So you did 2 damage. So
1 to the power plant.
So 1 to the weapon, 1 to the power plant. So my linked machine guns have 1 durability left, and my power plant's at 4.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what I can do to your side with a light rocket.
With a rocket. Now remember, you can declare both of these for that rocket also.
I'm definitely going to declare both of those for that
Yeah.
rocket.
Yeah, you want to get the max. You want to get maximum value,
'cause
right?
It's only one use, single use. So 1 die, and
Yeah, the computer adds a blue. The rocket is a blue, a green, and a yellow. And then the firing interface is a 1 die reroll. So I'm going to grab this blue out.
Yeah.
out of your way.
It's for the best.
ooh,
Well,
even better.
so here's the deal with.
Explosion.
So the explosion would take a control away from me, but I don't have a control, so
Right.
it's a damage.
Okay.
So that one
leave that-
is
leave
that one is
that be.
that's a success.
What do we got?
But there's 2 doubles on that die.
Yeah, but there's also 1 shield.
There's also 1 shield, and net wise, that the blue is just
Yeah.
is 50-50. You're going to get +1.
I'll take it.
There you go. So that's 4
Yeah.
into the front of my car. I'm guessing,
yes.
the part with the no armor on it. It's fine. It's fine. I've got 4 power plant left, and weapons on the front of my car, and crew members that can take damage for me.
These crew members have already gotten kind of clipped, haven't
so
they?
most crew members have 3 durability. There's
Right.
1 crew member who's pretty powerful who only has 2. But so far we've done mostly 3s. Show me crew. Oh,
Ooh,
tires.
2 tires.
So okay, so 2 of the 4 damage I'm taking is tires, and guess what? I had 2 tires left, so I'm at 0 tires now.
Okay.
So I have 2 more damage to deal with.
Any accessory in the front.
I don't have any accessories on my car.
Gunner.
Gunner takes 1.
So my gunner takes another 1, but my gunner's a rookie anyway.
Yeah.
Power plant.
And then a
1
power
more.
plant. So down to 3 power plant. And now machete.
Here he comes.
Machete. Oh, that's right. Now you got the machine guns.
Yeah. It's fine.
Come on, machete.
Ooh, okay.
So so I don't have tires.
So it's damage.
So tire damage doesn't do anything when you don't have tires.
Okay.
Unless I'm wrong, and the people who know the game slightly better than me in chat can tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that I think I'm just going to say it converts because that sounds right. But I'm 50-50.
We have seen that elsewhere.
I'm 50-50 on that one.
Moments.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you did 3 to me total.
Uh-huh.
Nope. Cool. No big deal. No big deal.
Table.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Something's gonna
Yeah,
say.
and space job, I think it also depends on the terrain. If we are in a parking lot, the RAM is a bit more of a calculation, right? If we are in something more like a race type scenario.
Card down there too.
Yeah, you need this too. If you're in something more like a race scenario, that's it.
Well, and
Converts regular damage.
okay, I thought it did.
Yeah. That's how it's worked every other place, right?
The other thing is we could have put some bunkers and stuff in this.
Well, absolutely.
To have some terrain to dodge around. Now you want to be careful and not put something like here.
Yeah.
Because if there's not at least the rule of thumb is that from the arena walls at least things should be 2 car lengths away.
Yeah.
Just because if it's like 1 car length away, there's no way to get in there because the way the turning works in the game.
That's not fun, right?
But we could have easily put a bunker or 2 out in the middle and had something to dodge around. Those also give cover. So if you can draw a line of sight across
This is an
a
LOS.
bunker, you get automatic successes on your shield.
Structure, accessory, weapon.
Okay, so you did 3 damage to me?
Yeah.
And the weapon eats
One.
one of it. The weapon's dead,
Power plant all the way
But-
2 on power plant.
but my power plant had 3 left, and the weapon took 1 of that damage. So my power plant has 1 point on it still, and you're out of weapons.
This is what the
I
weapon
have survived
Yes.
into the next round of the game.
does. All right, here.
Wait, give me that card, please.
I was just going to say, here, put this back
So I am not long for the world.
in your deck. Well, here, is it back to
Okay,
me?
and you fired. Yes, you are first player. You fired that rocket. So we first get rid of all this extra tokens,
Yeah.
which nobody had extra tokens. Not even
No.
me.
So the big thing is how much control,
I get a control,
but the fire.
but the fire costs 2 control to put out, so I
Exactly.
can't put the fire out.
Which
So it just
does-
burns and happens and probably kills me.
Right.
does that happen?
It's on the back of my car, which does not have a
it's in
weapon
managed
on
fire.
it anymore.
It's in managed fires.
So
Free
basically,
fire like
any
burning.
of these that don't have
Crew.
gunner, or driver on it kills me. It's fine, and yeah, it's totally fine.
Do you have any weapons left?
I have no weapons on the back. Okay, crew. So I can put that 1 damage from the fire
Yes.
on a crew member and not be eliminated.
So that's your driver.
It's possum because that would kill the rookie, and I do still need the rookie to shoot a gun.
So your driver and your gunner both have
both
they have 1 HP apiece.
1 HP left, and my power plant is at 1 HP also.
Well,
I
here-
am tissue paper.
Are you good with doing one more round?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm here until like,
All right. Well,
whatever.
here, we should let's
I'm
bring
gonna drive right into him.
let's bring this story to a close. Well,
I do go last, so I can't get out of
exactly.
your way.
Exactly.
you already know what it is.
Is it just slow and steady incremental doom, reversing lasers first?
Here you go, Keek.
All right.
Take it away.
Did you? You cannot, unfortunately, accelerate.
No.
Into, and
No,
just in
R,
case anybody out
R1
there,
is the
normally you could at the beginning of the movement step go up or down speed.
Right.
But there's nothing below reverse 1. There's not like reverse speeds.
it has a special relationship with this here.
It has
Oh,
its
I
own
need to
little-
resolve my fire as well.
You have fire too. But that just
And
means
I also need to roll a black die
do.
for Mamba, and I will get an extra control,
which you can then spin 2 of.
and then I will spend 2
put
of
out
to get
the
rid
fire.
of the fire.
There you go.
You are fine.
All
You are
right.
safe even.
Pulling it up to 3 speed. Can't imagine why.
Are you at 1 right now?
So you are hard accelerating.
you just
so
slamming
you've
it.
taken a PowerPoint damage.
Yes.
Okay, I like it.
And just right into him.
So first thing is a move,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to.
Pull it hard.
Is that
It's got to be
enough?
It's got to be. I think it's
As
got to
long
be.
as the bases touch, it's a
All
collision.
right.
So even if it's just barely overlap and they touch,
So
right.
that's
but remember the back point of the car pivots off that.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's a definite hit.
So 3 for the speed
3 for the speed.
and D1.
D1 is a green. I had a turning key over here somewhere. Oh, they're all down there.
They're mine. Welcome to Penny Arcade. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 control doesn't hurt you much because you were at 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
Then your other movement point is just sliding forward to touch me.
So close.
Now you're only going speed 3, so
Correct.
you could roll all shields and I could survive it.
Yeah, I could.
It's possible. I know one of us has no chance of dying from this. That was pretty good.
No, it's pretty good.
So that does hit you for 3, and you don't have any armor either, so
Right.
that's all internal. Now me,
The engine falls out.
there is no card in here that
That-
can't kill me because it's 3 damage. So even if
Yeah.
I got the gunner or the crew or the driver, that would take one of it.
Yeah, that person would
Other
die.
one would roll over to the power plant.
So they die in this collision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And just for the sake of completeness, we will replace me
With a wreck.
wreck marker. Now we could just leave my car out there or whatever.
Yeah.
We also make
There's also wreck.
sculpted wrecks.
I've seen wrecks that you can put on there,
Sculpted,
right?
yeah, I brought some. Sculpted wrecks are also where you get the clear bases if you want to have fancy clear bases.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so
But I do take D.
you are taking some
take
damage.
3 damage.
Right to the front. Well, let's see what we got, Geek.
Right into the front. It's going to be horrific.
Opposite armor.
Opposite
a-
armor
it's
is 3, all of
So
it.
you've got no armor back there.
So it's all 2.
So it skips that down to weapon.
Oh, it does. Gotcha.
You have no weapons.
Correct.
So that hits your driver. Mamba takes
One.
one of those.
And then the
and
power
your
plant takes the other 2.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even considered that. So the missile being used,
Now there's no
Also,
weapons.
there's
Not
nothing
armor
there.
technically
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
jeez. Okay, so this is,
Hand me that
I
card.
was just going to say that, I mean, this is my time to shine.
he goes down to 6
6 power.
power, but also that was your second movement. You have one more movement left. You have to complete your last movement and shove me around. But here's the deal. I am terrain now. If I'm a heavy obstacle that has partial cover. So that means that if you can draw a line from your car to Jerry when he shoots you that crosses that, you get 1 automatic shield.
Reroll.
No, it's an automatic
Oh, it's
shield.
an automatic shield.
Just 1 automatic shield.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's even better.
All right. So how does the push work?
So just line it up
Hold it down
and then
firm.
push your car slowly, and then whatever happens to that wreck token happens to it. There you go. And you can still turn if you want. And it doesn't cause a new collision as long as you don't leave and then contact
Come back.
again.
Gotcha.
So you can keep, like, if you could turn and shove that wreck with you if you
I'm
want.
rubbing.
Yeah, exactly.
As they say.
The
But
other
this is a
thing-
freebie, right?
The other thing is that that's technically shielding your car from his attacks too, because it's just
it's the same line.
It's just a thing in between you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's at.
Because a lot of war games, it's like, hey, if you're by the cover, it's not cover anymore. And this is like,
But no, we didn't do that because
No.
cover's an additional thing.
yeah, maybe.
Cover's something you decide on, and there's different levels of cover that are different impacts. You can put out walls that once you hit them you bounce off. You can put out other obstacles that are pushable.
Yeah.
You can put out light cover like landmines and stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
that
What I was
don't
going to say,
cause
we
collisions.
didn't even deal with the stuff where cars can take mine layers and things like that
Yeah.
and create
Yeah, yeah.
terrain on the board. I mean, that.
Yeah, there's an entire expansion that's dropped weapons. It's oil slicks and smoke clouds and foam, big giant blocks of foam you spray out of your car. Now they don't cause collisions, but they block line of sight. So you can fire one of your big guns out the side and then drop a big wall to block line of sight.
I bet that 2v2 in this is really good.
We in that scenario book we're working on, there are some team scenarios and some other things like that.
I bet that's pretty good.
There's like team capture the flag scenarios and other things.
Well, I mean, we know how this is going to end, Keek. I'm going to unleash my most powerful Laserians. You'll almost certainly be destroyed.
Almost certainly. Now there's no armor on that right side of.
This is what
the
I'm saying.
station
Well, here,
wagon
so
of you.
I'll go first. You can do your final shots. You want to wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Okay, here. So you did your move. Now it comes back over to me for
Weapons.
shooting.
For shooting, yeah. Combat
right?
face.
So this is
That's your automatic.
the automatic, and then The remainder.
So 3.
So,
So your speed is 3, and you get a free shield.
Oh yeah. Okay, so one hit just goes away.
Yeah,
Right?
that wreck. Now here's the other thing. We could, if we wanted, have me have some residual hit points.
Oh, HP.
that's cool.
So there's nothing in the core rules that says that when this blocks the damage, it hurts the thing that's blocking it.
Right.
But you can target anything you want to target. So if Jerry's in the way and you have 2 guns, you could try to kill the cover and then shoot at Jerry, kind of thing.
That's pretty cool.
And we are working on experimental like house rule suggestions in
Nice.
that companion book, and one of them is when cover that can take damage blocks automatically,
Yeah.
it eats that damage and it can get worn down slowly.
Awesome.
So there's all kinds of ways you can like tweak it and dial it in. And
What if it explodes?
And
Yes.
what if it explodes?
Now we're talking.
yeah,
I can see it. 2.
All right.
so that means 1 damage comes in on your right side, which has no armor.
That's right.
So almost surely you are doomed. I mean, I heard
Almost.
Jerry said something like that.
Destroyed.
Okay. So there
he has
is
computers.
there is an accessory on that side of the car.
So no more
Only has
re-rolling
hit
one
points.
die,
So your firing interface was located on the right side of your car,
and I take no damage.
and it's gone.
That's right. Now, my most powerful attack yet. Yeah. Oh man.
So
That's terrible.
You're hitting with 1 because of the auto.
Yeah. This is terrible. No.
I did not mean to shield him with my dead body, but I'm also shielding him.
Ruinous. Now,
like I'm a traitor.
let Machete, because I don't have any armor back there, let Machete live. Let him go to work.
Now you lost your firing interface, so you don't have that reroll, but you still
will have the blue.
the blue die.
Well, and I'm only going 1 speed.
And I get to add the
You're only
black.
going 1 speed, but you get one auto shield
Oh, because from the ding dong.
because the partial cover.
Yeah.
Not great at all.
So 1 free.
Yeah, and you have no way to reroll
No way to reroll.
any of that. So Machete kind of
All right. We're doing great.
flopped a little bit on that
Chet
one.
the bed is what he did. And let's do the hand cannon.
Yeah.
That's your only other weapon on that side of your car. So yeah.
3. Okay. So I get
So-
1 basic, and then, I mean, this is how we determine. So I'm 3 away, so I get 2 rerolls.
Yep.
Do you see how crafty, how clever? All right. 1 shield for free, and there's 2 hits coming in.
Just 1 because, this
Yeah,
is the freebie.
he canceled out your freebie. Jerry, you have an ace token.
One
from your
more.
Spoiler. Spoiler let you down.
All right. Here.
1 point of damage in the rear.
Yeah, in the zone.
You don't have armor back there.
Auto zone. Oh, I know. Accessory? What? Did you destroy my spoiler?
No, the spoiler has 2 hit points. Only 1 damage was put on the spoiler.
Dude, if this had ended with the destruction of my spoiler,
I would have won. Game would have been over.
Travesty.
that's a moral victory.
would have been a travesty.
Is what it is.
That's style points you're just losing right there.
Will Schoonover
You got my name right both times. I'm so happy.
of
Most people don't.
Steve Jackson Games. Well, we knew each other before.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you for showing us these cool toys. Oh, is it over? Oh, okay. There's a screen that's like, hey, it's like, what? I talk. No,
It's
anyway.
a test pattern.
Anyway, thank you very much for showing us all the cool toys. So you're saying that you're working on some scenario type situations?
Yes, we have a product called the Companion Book, which has a number of scenarios in it. I can't promise how many are going to be in it, but I've written a lot. And it also has some other, like I said,
additional
house rule kind of suggestions, some optional rules. Like there are barrel tokens in the game, but here's an option for the barrels being explosive. So if you crash
Red
into
barrels.
them, they light you on fire, that kind of stuff. And then some other just kind of helpful tips and stuff in there. There's going to be a graph of the dice. People had generated this like on Board Game Geek and stuff.
So your
of like
statistical
all the colors and all
distributions.
the options and stuff. We're going to put that on one of the pages. So there's going to be some like game aid kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, creature
and then a whole
comforts.
bunch of stuff. So we're calling it a companion because it gives you a bunch of options. and it's a book because we've already put out tons of actual content.
Right.
And we're working on an expansion for motorcycles because that was a big deal in the old game. But motorcycles are an interesting
Design challenge.
option because they're not like in the old game. There were all kinds of variations on cars, right?
Yeah.
There were subcompacts and pickup trucks, and so cycles were just another size of car. But in this one, there's one size of car and you can customize it a ton.
Right.
So we're working on how to make motorcycles fit into that ecosystem and not be too weird. So
Yeah.
So that'll be a little while. But we're also working on some other expansions to put out. There's weapon types that don't exist in the game, and there's options, points, builds for certain weapons.
Because you
that
can
don't
dig
exist in the
back
game.
into a really deep roster.
Yeah, we've got lots of inspiration from the old game. Like we've joked around about robot autopilots and all kinds of like the old game had some
Yeah, you lose the driver.
had some very silly, jokey kind of things in it. And in the core game, as we publish it right now, there is an armored beer fridge. We don't encourage drinking and driving in real life.
IRL.
But the armored
But in the
beer
darkness
fridge,
of the future.
the armored beer fridge, it adds a blue die to every one of your driving rolls, which means you might go out of control, but it can keep your driver or your gunner alive a little bit longer. There's also a taco that magically transfers damage between your people. So we are kind of leaning on the little bit of slapstick silliness of the
No, but
80s Car
that's
Wars.
exactly what it's supposed
That's
to
about
be.
that's the identity of the game, right?
Yeah, but so expect maybe a little bit more of that, but also maybe some like machine guns and lasers and stuff that are in different weight categories than the ones that exist in the game. And then some brand new concepts and ideas that I'm not going to even mention because they're still things we're talking about. But there might be things in like the next card pack we come out with, which will be a little while because the world economy is still.
Oh,
shipping
I
is
live
terrible.
I live in that same world.
But yeah, and go to sjgames.com. We have the Daily Illuminator that has an update every day about something, and Car Wars updates will be in there. And when we have something ready to sell or Kickstarter or whatever, it'll be up there.
I was going to say, and if you want to show some of that stuff off, please get a hold of us.
Yes.
I mean, you live local. Obviously, we'd love to see it here. So, well, hey, thanks so much to Steve Jackson Games, our boy Will. Thanks to Keek. Obviously, thanks to Laura behind the cameras. Thanks to Josh back on the ones and twos. Thanks so much for rolling through. We'll see you again.